Still creating. Okay, stream start, hooray. That took a second. Yeah, goals of this stream were more about puzzle creation, but I'm actually going to... Oh, I forgot to change the title. Oops, that's fine. I realized that while I'm doing this, this actually is kind of interesting to work through. So I'm going to go ahead and just control... first, we're going to control A, copy everything. I'm going to go put this somewhere just in case something goes wrong, because we're going to time travel. What I'm doing here is adding skill nodes to the clicker stuff, right? Just continuing along with what I was doing yesterday. Fix the problem with the piano pieces not working. That was a fun little interesting. So if anyone knew, if anyone saw that, at the very end, a weird problem happened where for some reason the clicker specifically for piano keys did not work. It did not register mouse clicks, and the reason for that is because we actually had a race condition that I was not aware of. Though it makes sense now. Basically, the camera system in this game is what handles dragging. And in this step event right here, in this drag handler, it was checking and finding that we were dragging the map, and so it would go ahead and set this value right here to true. And at this point, once that value is true, everything else is paused so that you can drag the map without having to worry about interacting with other stuff. So I'm just trying to load this up here. Whoa, okay, I'll have to fix some things. But anyway, don't worry about this right now. Oh geez, this is bad. Okay, anyway, just pretend I dragged the map, whatever, you know, it's just, you know, drag controls. It's nothing too special. So, anyway, when that triggers, everything else gets put on hold, and I guess before I had been getting lucky where this had always triggered after the clickers. In this case, what happened was it triggered first. So we would run through here, we would get to the drag handler, it would notice that we clicked on the map and started dragging. So therefore it would set this value to true, which would turn off all future clickers. Then we got to the piano. Now we would try to see if we pressed the mouse, but we did, but now that the map is dragging, it would simply ignore it all. And so that's why we couldn't actually interact with the piano keys, even though everything was working actually perfectly fine. It was just because of that race condition. So, oh, and then of course, the way I fixed it was I basically just made it so it happens one frame later. So now instead I set an alarm that just says, oh my gosh, where did it go? After you start clicking, set this for one frame, then just exit. Don't do anything else. And then next frame, immediately we'll set this to true and start dragging then. You don't notice it when you actually do it, but this means that now everything has a chance to run through at least once, complete all their code first, and then we can go ahead and do other stuff. Also, I should turn on live chat. Also, I should probably announce this stream exists because I don't know what's wrong with this bot. I can't, for some reason, this bot just refuses to put posts out. It's very annoying. So let me go find my stream first. Actually, first let me mute the desktop audio so I don't loop back into myself, because that'll be a pain to deal with. Can I move this up a little bit? I suppose it doesn't matter that. Oh my gosh. Okay, I suppose it doesn't matter that much. This is some kind of ASMR, you know? Check this out. Live. Yeah, it's Eggin time now again. Yeah, I wanted to do like it's Eggin time 3, it's Eggin time 4, just go forever. Oh, I can still do that. Let me do a save. Awesome. Now it's Eggin time 3. It's so stupid, but I don't know. I find it funny for some reason. All right, now that I've gotten the link, I'll just post this here. I don't know. It's Eggin time 3. All right, there we go. I had to just do it manually until the bot figures it out. Anyway, so now we're back in though, and okay, so now we're gonna time travel. Whee! Back to the very beginning. So this is the actual code used for the hitbox collision for skill nodes, which is absolutely horrendous in every which way. Just in every which way. This sucks. So we are basically slowly improving this, right? We're moving it over to the clicker system now because we already have all the tools necessary to do so. The first thing we do, I think if I just do control, there we go. Yeah, I can start re-adding it. So the first thing was we start adding in requirements, starting out with layer equals current layer. So we check that out, remove that, move it over there. I decided that I actually don't want to work with that because I want to figure out why these nodes aren't properly enabling and disabling in the first place. So I'm going to actually ignore that requirement because this is actually a failsafe, basically. Whoa. Why is this not working? There we go. This is actually a failsafe. This basically says that if you're not on the correct layer, don't activate, even though it shouldn't be running this code at all if you're not on the right layer. It should just be a deactivated instance, which means this code should never run in the first place. So the fact that it's running is the problem. So I'd rather try to figure out the core root of the problem there, because we're talking literally like about 100 plus frames being saved every, well, it's just like, go from 100 FPS to 200 FPS just by doing that. So I don't know why that's not working, but we'll figure that out. Anyway, so we'll remove that. That's our new requirement. Hooray. That's what we did there. We move this up because that no longer matters. We set a coordinate function because we need to figure out what our actual coordinates are. Skill nodes take place on a menu, which means they have completely different coordinates. And so the way this function works is that you establish 4 different points, a top left and a bottom right point, and we draw a box, and that's your hitbox. So we're using this code right here to actually determine what that is. And so I'm kind of just figuring it out as I go here, but basically this is what I think the actual equivalent is, and we'll test that out and see. Then we don't need either of these setups, by the way. We no longer need to check about pop-up active or camera dragging. Oh yeah, and now we're slowly disabling this massive if statement, and so this is kind of where we're at. So then I move that over here. We don't need the pop-up active check because now we already have an enable level system. This says that if you're on the skill level, you automatically will never work if a pop-up shows up, because that just makes sense. Pop-ups are on the top layer, they take over everything. Then you have the menu layer. Well, then you have the pause layer, actually. That's a very rare one, but that basically says under any pausing circumstances, you can exist. Then we have the menu layer. Then we have the visibility layer and the map layer. They're kind of on the same layer, but map specifically says you must be on the map, whereas visible is anywhere on the screen. And then finally, we just have off. That just says you're just not on. And so because we set this to skill menu, boom, and then boom, and then over here, set the coordinate function. We just pulled those from the step, and now we're just adding in the event. So now we have to break this down. So right away, the very first thing is we set this to false. First hover, this weird little variable, of which, how many places do we even use this? Apparently we've got this in a couple of different places. I want to remove this. Yeah, same. So this is partially what we're doing here. We no longer care about such a thing. We no longer need to worry about such a thing. First hover can be kind of useful in some cases, but right now it needs to disappear. As for description functions, where we use it, so in this case, we'll just remove this option. So we don't even need to check that anymore. And over here, same thing. If this element has a first hover system, we also do not want to check this. This also sucks. So we've just removed two checks because those systems no longer exist. Again, we've had like 5 different hitbox systems, and so we're just all coagulating them into a single hitbox system that's global and works with every single object that wants to have a hitbox, because my goodness, this has become very, very nasty. This is pretty much the last system to go. We have actually GUI borders and GUI resizers and some units that interact with the hovering system. But beyond this, once we remove this, they should all be on the clicker system. And then that makes my life a lot easier in the future. That's for damn sure. So now this is supposed to be the very first hovering, which means this is effectively our on trigger, but both of these happen automatically already, so neither of these are necessary. Now we enter into hovering, which I suppose is all of this. So now this would be the pressed. We do first click. Once again, that should no longer be necessary. We care mostly about this, it looks like, right? This seems to be the one that we actually care about. I'm also going to remove the definition here. And here. We don't need hovering or first click there. Not anymore. So it seems like this is the thing. MB release and first click. This is basically just saying if you've clicked on the... So first you have to actually press the target. Then if you release it, it'll function. This is mainly to avoid it. So like if you're like clicking and dragging and then you release on top of the node, it'll automatically think that you clicked. This just helps avoid that. But again, this is no longer necessary. The clickers already have that built in. That's already a thing built in. You have to press on them and then release in order to get the actual full effect. This would be the effect of the off. So we already have this set up. We already have, these are no longer necessary. That means that first click is effectively gone, which means the only thing we need is just event off. This is the only thing that's not already added and available. I do believe that this runs mainly because this is on the GUI layer, so camera panning is normally turned off. I think that's why we uniquely have to do this. So I'm not going to change that, though something's telling me maybe we don't need that anymore. I don't know for sure, though. So for now, leave that. Now we just need to add a click event. So theoretically, we could just do add event, event type dot click, create a nice big function, and we can just drop all of this in there if we wanted. I don't know if that's super healthy, but it would work as is. So that's the first step. Yeah, I think that like already kind of does it, but let's see if we can clean up the function list a little bit. Oopsies. Since this one's much tinier, we'll put this one up here. It's just part of these, and then this one has its own space because it needs more space. Otherwise, the step is just dealing with image alpha stuff, so I think the rest of it's probably fine. Image alpha is just saying take the max between 0.75 and 1, I guess. I'm not sure why we need to do that, to be honest. But we'll leave it. Okay, so that's probably enough. I could probably take another look at that sometime in the future, but for now, I'm sure it's fine. Yeah, I'm sure it's fine. All right. Well, then, first we respec by checking if you're on the respec node, or rather if that's what you're trying to hit, I believe. Oh, right. No, because you can only respec at checkpoints. That's what this is saying. That's right. So yeah, so let's rename this a little bit just to make it a bit more obvious. Can respec. It's probably a better naming. Now these are some interesting requirements for how all this works. If not skill owned and is buyable, this is where we play the skill get GUI sound effect. So this is just controlling what you do. I think all of these are necessary. This probably could be cleaned up, but I do actually think this is good enough. Looking at it again, it's a bit, you know, but I don't usually like stacking if-else statements like this, but I think this will probably do it because all three, like these are changing every single time. This is probably the only one that we might be able to offload to like a function since it's just a simple variable change, but these are all completely different behaviors and completely different checks. So I don't really know why we would try to change anything. One thing I will do though is I will make sure that we do clicker set sound or clicker sound. The SFX for clicking will be nothing to make up for the fact that we're already going to be interacting with these skills. They already have their own sound effects when you click or remove them. Oh, did the bot work? I wasn't checking. That might have just been me. I had to post it automatically because... Oh, yep, there it goes. Yeah. Okay, so it is working then. I don't know. All right, maybe it just has a delay then. That's good. I'm glad to at least got it set up, because now I don't want to post it every single time. Now let's jump over to the skill tree. Let's see how that looks. Okay, so we have a lot of hitboxes showing up. That's kind of fun. they're not quite in the right place. Have to do something about that. I think I know what to do to fix that, but they're close enough. That's still can work with this. Okay, so this is interesting. We're getting warnings every single time. Normally, if you click on this, let's turn off the hitboxes for now. I feel like they're brighter than normal. Maybe that's just me. I think they are. I think they're brighter. Because normally, this is supposed to be like 50%-ish. I think that's the trick. So what we're seeing, my guess is that it's at like 50%. But right now, it's being maxed out to 0.75%. So it's probably this. We made a small mistake somewhere, I think. I think I know what we have to do. Add event. I think this is a hover. They should only be triggering when we're hovering it. I think that'll fix the problem. And for the hitbox, we're going to, whoops. Where was that? Here it is. This is the problem. It's putting it right at, we found the center point. So that's what this ends up being, is the actual center point of the skill node. And so what we need to do is we need to pull this back, subtract B-box left, I think is what it is. And then subtract B-box top. So that'll pull the center point to the top left. And then this portion just gets pushed down to the bottom right. I think that'll do it. Also, this used to be an elliptical hitbox, and I'm not entirely sure why. So I'll have to check that and see. Maybe there was a good reason for that. But yeah, this used to be elliptical, which, I don't know. Maybe I could see how that works. Whoa! Whoa! Oh, no! Okay. So that's not gonna work well. Okay. I think I know what's gone wrong. These are completely separate coordinates. So instead of using B-box, what we should probably use is get a sprite, get B-box bottom. This is the way we do it. These are the actual coordinates in the room, and that's not going to work very well. So we'll just do sprite index. Pull this over here. Left. No, this is really changing. Should all be fine. Whoopsies. There we go. Let's try that. Oh, this needs to scale with image. Well, we'll see. Because I think we also do some image size scaling too, so that'll be a pain. Let's see. Boom. And then, okay, kind of. Yeah, right. Look at how that hitbox gets tinier and bigger. That's not really correct. But this is a bit more accurate. So, oh, I didn't even know I could zoom in that far. Oh, I see, because it looks like I add one extra layer. That's why. Whee. Let's take like a 30-minute break, just do this. All right. So I need this to scale with image size while simultaneously not being... gotta think this through. For now, we'll leave this. I'm also kind of curious about something else too, being the... No, not that. Clicker set collision type. B-box kind ellipse. I'm very curious about this because this is what it used to be. Also, I want to try and set this up to be... I want to show the different types of collision. It's right here. Switch. Case, B-box kind, diamond. And then we have rectangle. feel like we could do better than this. I'm going to go ahead and jump. Hey, geez. Where's the clicker stuff? I think we should have it in here. Static, draw hitbox. Oh, geez. Draw debug hitbox. Then in here, we'll actually handle the drawing. That just feels more correct. Just offload it to the clicker, let the clicker handle it. Because that function's getting pretty hefty. The shorter a function is, the better, kind of, usually, is how that goes. I going to have to restart this soon. The Game Maker application doesn't like being open for too long, as I have found out. There we go. It looks kind of nice. Okay, for now I'm going to just put this as yeah, diamond's not implemented yet, and I'll say this also is not implemented yet, so we'll leave that as is. Although I could go, that's probably, well, I mean, it's not really helpful. I don't really need to do this, but I kind of want to. It'd be kind of fun. So basically, it's just draw sprite, right? Let's see. Yeah, there's a couple of things I can do here. If I do draw sprite, it would just be linked object dot sprite index. Linked object dot sprite, no, dot image index. I'm gonna do with yeah, look at this delay every time I try to do anything. I don't know why that happens. I've got no clue. Image angle, image, so in this case it would be C red, and then 1. Just draw the sprite, basically. As for the ellipse, though, this one is more just draw circle color. Is there not a draw ellipse color? Yeah, okay. This ends up being very similar. What just happened? Did something just... Okay. Apparently some extra thing in my computer just unplugged and replugged itself. I have no clue. Anyway. Yeah, I would love it if I could somehow get the ellipse going, but if that's not possible, then that's not possible. Well, what are the actual rules of this, though? Because I already know how this works. I already have an idea. I wrote this function. It's kind of a lot, but when you actually give me all this stuff. Interesting. It would be linked object.x and y. This is the actual spot, so let's just do this divided by 2. Should do the trick. Puts it at the top left. Kind of. We'll hope that's good enough. I think that'll do it. And that gives me an idea of how to fix this, because it's kind of the same thing. Minus sprite width times 0.5. That's technically faster, I think. And then because I like the lines lining up, I'll put a space there. All right, we'll try this. Compile that, see what ends up happening. Uh-oh, errors, where? Why? Oh, right, yeah, that's right. So in this case, it would just be clicker.draw debug hitbox. So now it's overall much simpler call. Okay, so far so good. These squares still work at least. Now I'm curious how the piano will work. Uh-oh, piano key hovering. I thought I already removed all those. Excuse me. At draw interactable at button draw. Oh, here. Yeah? Yeah. That hover. I had forgotten about this. Actually, I'm gonna have to check that out because I just realized that won't properly work. Because this has to happen during the draw event and these all happen during step events instead. We'll have to see. I'll have to put a note down real quick. Oh, my bad. Okay. What? Wait, slider cell? How are you still activating? Rearing its ugly head once again. Well, in the meantime, I can just do this. Hovering equals false. Hooray. For now, you get to just enjoy that. I'll come for you yet. Okay, interesting. It's close. They're not showing up in the right spot, but it's close. These are correct, but a little bit not. Because they're all circles, right? It's not really exactly what I had in mind. But close. It looks like they're it looks like the hitboxes are actually where they're supposed to be. Draw ellipse color. Sprite width. So the thing is that is this, well, this is in pixels, right? Are we sure we can't do it this way? It really feels like it should work. See, because the problem here is that these nodes are 32 by 32 at the end of the day. They look like they're not because half of it's not being used, but they are actually squares. I don't understand. It's crazy to see though, ain't it? Something special. So this back button still doesn't work. I never did figure that out. I probably should. Let me check out borders. So I thought B-Box left would just be this portion right here in the real world. Image sprite width, what's that? This is the width of the sprite for reals. It's like 32 something or other, right? It might be 64 pixels most of the time. It's adjusted by scale, which is why it could be 64 pixels. That's exactly why that would happen. From there, we need something that is actually at the collision bounds, though, which is what B-Box should do. That's what it should do. Whoa. I think B-Box left is like literally the position in the room though. So probably what we need to do is instead do B-Box left minus dot X. Something like this maybe. Or maybe literally just this. I didn't think this through. Perhaps this is literally enough here. B-Box top. It's just literally to the left and to the top, right bottom. Give that a shot, see what happens. Almost. The origin's the only... Why is the origin working properly? That's kind of funny. The rest of them, not quite. Oh, they're not actually working, though. Yeah, now I don't know. I don't know. I guess it doesn't really matter that much. Maybe what I do is I just do this. I'll just say, like, to do doesn't really work. Oh no. And then on the flip side, we'll just do precise instead. Where are you? Because this is how it originally worked, I think, was using the exact function that we used there, edge-to-edge collision. Yeah, oh yeah, that's it. Oh, you gotta see a lot of things, too. Uh-oh. You're gonna see too many things. You're not supposed to see all these things. Let's get out of here. Alright, let's just go back to rectangular. I still have to check those out, though. Figure out what's going on with here. Oh, yeah, then this is something we'll have to worry about. And then, like, to do... not well tested. And we'll see about those, but for now, I think that's fine. The button needs help. Stick with rectangles. I don't think we need anything more than that. I mean, it's nice that I had like precise collisions or whatever I specifically had, but it's unnecessary. As long as these are pretty much working, as it looks like they are. Yeah. It's not exact, right? Now we're missing out on these edges, but this will more than do the trick. Right? Look at that. Perfectly fine. Kind of interesting that the origin has 2. I don't actually know what's up with that. Also, we've got another hitbox somewhere going on. I think that's the problem. I think I actually know what the deal is. Yeah, I know what's going on there. That's no big deal. Some of these skills don't fully exist yet. Not supposed to see anything inside of there, though. That's for later. That's for the future. All right, sounds good. And the reason why we're even seeing those is likely because, again, we're not actually properly removing skill nodes that are on the wrong layer when we totally should be doing that. For some reason, we aren't. So now let's figure out what to do next, because I think that more or less takes care of everything. We know first hover doesn't exist anymore. Move some stuff around here. Took pretty much everything out of skill node. Put that into the create event instead. Also, we no longer check for first hover in descriptions. Moving stuff and clicker, blah, blah. All right. Looks good to me. Added skill nodes to the clicker system and moved clicker debug drawing into clicker itself. And that's one commit down. Now, I wanted to take a look at a equip node. The only thing we change here is in the create event, so just want to double check. But yeah, it looks like there's no new things here to worry about. So that's good. So I'd say skill nodes are solid. Now we have to figure out hovering for the rest of these things. But before we do that, I think it's time to start trying to figure out what might be going on during the process of moving from layer to layer. So this was the current const I was playing with, is that just in the step event, we do a simple check. If the current layer is not equal to the original layer, and let's throw in another check just in case. Do 2 checks. You have to be not equal to the original layer and the current layer. because sometimes this layer variable can change. And also we have to exclude the player interactable for reasons. We're going to try to deactivate ourselves and see how that goes. I was getting a lot of bugs when I did this last time, which, you know, is confusing because it's like, why? Also, what the hell's this? What is this? Oh, that's the player. Check that out. Just always there, just always hanging out. I mean, you'd probably never find him, but I had no clue. That's a fun bug. I might not even fix that, honestly. That's like that's so rare for someone to find. And like, it's so innocuous. The worst they'd just be is like, what? They just see player just show up out of nowhere. I'll leave that as is. Okay, so that seems to be working so far, so good. All right, so we just created a modifier that doesn't exist. That's really questionable. So yeah, this is what happens. I don't understand why this is happening. I don't get what the deal is. So I've tried this before, and yeah, it seems like for some reason modifiers just stop working properly, even though they're not interactables, which means they shouldn't be having any problems. Also, what's going on with these clicker hitboxes? Okay, they're no. So yeah, what's happening is the hitbox is right here, and it's resizing and figuring out where to go from there. That's what's happening. I was worried maybe it's the other hitboxes that are showing up, but no. This does seem like a pretty much one-size-fits-all solution, save for modifiers breaking somehow. It's anyone's guess as to why. Yeah, even the puzzles work way better now too. Looks good, looks solid. No problems except for that. Constant save failed. Jeesh. What a shame. Also, this is fun. Check this out. Oh, wait, it's not working now. Wait, why is it not working anymore? For a while, there's been this weird little bug where the choices expand infinitely forever. And I actually know how to fix that. I've just been hanging on for a bit because it's just not that important. But I actually kind of also want to leave it because I want to remind myself, since I actually think it's a very fun effect, I might use that as a sanity effect, where it's just you just click and the choice just keeps expanding and you're like, what's happening? What is going on? And just freak you out for a second. But now, actually taking a look here and it's not working, so I'm kind of confused. I know what's happening here, so maybe this is weird. It just works properly now. That's disappointing. These modifiers seem to be working. Okay, I'm actually curious. Is it just because the old one's bugged? Maybe that old save... That's a very old save file. I mean, I still have some save files from, like, version 4. So it's possible that one's just so old that maybe the modifiers were already bugged. I have to look into it. I have to actually see what's going on there. That might be what the problem is, actually. Because some of them seem to work. So if we just do a normal... If we just go in here normally... Okay, no, this is a brand new save and it still broke. So clearly something's wrong. What's interesting is that it seems to be specifically Misted Harbor. Or weather effects is probably the more accurate. It's the weather effects, because the normal things aren't problematic here. If I go ahead and touch that orb or whatever. Oh yeah, I forgot, I can't leave. Maybe that's the first thing I should try to figure out. is why I can't seem to leave. You get all the way, get 2 of these. Wow. Why won't the back button work? Do we still have this in, I think I already removed this. Doesn't look like it. Kind of. Back. Case sensitive. Yeah. Ah, it's already been removed. So we have to find, I think it's called exit element. Yes. This is where it's determining its position. That's fine. Create clickable text element. We actually create it. We set the alpha. Enable level pause. So that should be fine. There's a thought here that perhaps this is the reason. What if, just theoretically, let's just try this. Throw it to pop-up, see if maybe that fixes it. If we just throw this up into pop-up and see if that does fix it, then we know it's some kind of weird thing in the enable level. If that doesn't fix it, we know it's something else. And because it starts off screen, it's actually not even that big of a deal. But yeah, basically what this means is that we could still click this. That's not how that's supposed to work, but it still works everywhere else. No problems. Right, so something is happening here. It's not the enable level, that's not it. So we don't have to check if our logic's correct here. We can be pretty much certain that it is. Something else is happening. We add a click event here that does some things. This is what removes stuff for you. Element scale. Update hitbox is my first thought. Okay, no. Actually, it just occurred to me. Yeah, this is weird, isn't it? Well, I suppose it's fine. When we call update hitbox, because yeah, originally all the elements, they did their own things, but since they're setting X1, X2, whatever, we probably could streamline this because calling this doesn't make sense. It'd make more sense to call directly to the clicker and change the clicker rules. But for now, I think it's fine. I probably won't fix that later either. Because at that point, we're not even really, I don't even think it's that much of a performance improvement, nor is it really like that much easier to work with, because it's still going to be a bunch of functionality moving around. But that is kind of interesting. Yeah, so we have update hitbox, but that doesn't actually update the hitbox. It just updates the values that we will eventually send to the real hitbox. So we create this, we set its enable level and stuff. We do all kinds of stuff like that. What I'm interested in is, yeah, why the clicker seems to disappear. What might be going on there? We draw this every step of the way. Curious if we see something that would change drastically. Because what I seem to notice was that it comes in seamlessly and then randomly vanishes. You can barely even see my fingers. Where does it start? Over here. So I have to use this hand basically. Weep, and then gone. Yeah, see, like that. It's just gone. I should have done something else first. I probably should just make like a debug function to replicate clicking it so I don't have to keep restarting the game, but I'm too lazy to do that. This shows up. If we get my mouse out of the way, yeah, it comes right in. Nice and clean. Does that for all three, except the skill node. This is the only one. Yeah, we're just, it comes in almost and then just vanishes. So the next question I actually have is, do we delete this? Like if we just do, you know, this, print exit element dot clicker. 150, 680 is where we are normally at. We slowly encroach on this a little bit. Start like negative something or other. Yeah, that looks right. 426, then we build up. Yeah, I want to just do exit element dot clicker. Tell me what this is. I'm curious if maybe something weird is happening where we accidentally destroy this or something to that effect. Just trying to see if this is actually in the proper spot. You can see it's showing up here perfectly fine. Yes, it is. Okay. And let's see what its bounds were. This is kind of a pain to look at, but 126, 246. Right here, negative 306 coming down. 246, solid. And then same sort of thing here. X1, 126. It's not like there's any secrets going on here. So this is legitimately, it's a lot to look at, but basically nothing weird is happening with the clicker itself, which means that now I want to see what the enable level is. This is my next guess of what might be going on. Clicker, add requirement, sure. I just need something so I can pan over. Load. It's at 19 the entire time, so it's not like anything weird's happening there. And that is in fact paused. That's what I would expect. So now the final thing is simply enabled clicker. What's the name of it? I'm gonna just restart this because this is just getting way too slow at this point. Just has to happen sometimes. Where are we at? Here it is. Print. Clicker enabled. Just let me see. Okay, that's what it is. So clicker is losing the enable. So we have to go check out and see what's going on there. Sounds good to me. This won't be what we want. Yeah, debug. Right now, debugging won't really help because there's just, we're going to be running through this regularly all the frickin' time. In all kinds of different elements, so it's gonna drive me crazy. Oh yeah, I forgot what I was supposed to do this stream. I wanted to make puzzles. Oh well, I got distracted. It happens. We're gonna wrap up this bug, and then we'll just leave it at that. Let's see. It's an hour. Not bad. Hour of coding. Oopsies. Okay, yeah. Of course you become unstable. You always become unstable, Game Maker. Now we know it's pause. That's the thing we know for a fact. So... well... I guess the only correct choice is we just have to do this. If... because I have to step through this. So what we have to do basically is just make sure that this is in fact going to... excuse me. If not, exit... oops. So when we're drawing this, that means we have to be on a menu, and then if it's not enabled, then we go in here, then we can go ahead and put a breakpoint in here to make sure that we show up and stop things there to see what's happening inside, but it won't happen until we turn this on, and specifically it turns off. So now, I can jump over to the GM debugger, because otherwise we'd be going through way too much crap. So now we just go past, now we go in here, we have to figure this out. So we know enable level is 19, so we're going to skip over all these. These are all incorrect. Now we jump into requirements. We have to check if the element is visible. It should be. That's the only requirement, I guess. Okay, so yeah, we're fine. If camera.dragging return false, the camera's not dragging though, so we're fine. If pop-up active and enable level is less than pop-up, but it's not, so we go in here. So now we're checking if is game paused. We're trying to see if we ignore pause. So apparently we do not ignore pause. That's what this just said. Whoops. So the game is paused. I would say that's true. So this is true. And then this has to be greater than or equal to pause. Our enable level is 19. This should be... is that really something you can't fetch? This might be the problem right here. 19 should be greater than or equal to 19, right? And so in that case, ignore the pause really should be true. Whoa. Interesting. Okay, well, I mean, I don't fully understand, but we'll just do another one. Enable pause border. Something I've seen before. It's just 20. And then what we can do, let's just do that. 10 and below is the visibility border, so 20 and below is the pause border. Or I'm sorry, that's not quite right. That's not quite right. Actually, gonna make a small change. Put this to 11, 12, 13, 14. And leave this at 15. And then what we'll do instead... 21 and then 31. That feels like it makes more sense. The visibility border is 10 and below. The pause border is 20 and below. The pop-up border is 30 and below. That seems reasonable to me, at least right now. Keeps things rather clean. Then from there, what we need to do is basically need to say, ignore pause if you are greater than or equal to pause. That's still true, so that's still annoying. I don't... This still doesn't really make sense. I have to just... Let me print both of these. Print enable level, and then print to me what this is supposed to be, because I swear... I swear. This will not make sense otherwise. Tell me explicitly to my face that that is not correct, and then tell me exactly why. There's a lot going on here. There's a lot of complex stuff, but... Alright, we have to do it through here, though. This is too much stuff. Exit element.clicker.enable. Yeah, it's just too unparsable. Print enable level, print this thing, then print this. Again, just tell me to my face that this explicitly doesn't work, and maybe I can at least get some kind of closure over why not. Because if it says maybe it's actually 18 somehow, then perhaps that could be something I could work with. Okay, so... Alright, so no, this is definitely correct. Which I thought so. Because that'd be ridiculous otherwise. So essentially what this is saying is that the enable level absolutely is greater than or equal to pause. That is true. 15 is greater than or equal to 15. Of course it is. So then I guess this must be false. GameController.gamePaused is apparently not true. Or pop-up controller active, but that's never true. Where's my stream? There it is. I'm about to egg. Yeah, I feel that. That's generally how it goes for me too. What are we doing? Oh yeah. Jump in. Okay, wow. That's a lot of data. So anyway, both are 0, so I don't know. Right, so my first mistakes, I should have put a little something here. Apparently the game is not paused, which is fascinating. So, yeah, that's really interesting. That actually might make sense. I think it's making sense now. Here's the wild case. I don't think the game is paused here, actually. And I think now I'm remembering that's because this is the only way you could interact with the skills. So I actually unpaused the game here. But you don't fully know that. I didn't even know it. I'm thinking that's legitimately it. I just, you know... Why is the game not paused? Oh, because it literally isn't. Here I am thinking I'm going crazy, and it's like, no, that is actually true. It's just not paused. I just forgot about that fact. Okay, so with that new information in mind, I need a new thing to do. I sit in a chair for too long. I gotta do things more. So I think the trick is we don't care about pausing here. We shouldn't care about pausing here. Enable level greater than blah 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 blah. I think it's just this. Drive, give me 20. No, please. I was bluffing. Greater than equal. Let's try that. I think that'll be okay. Kind of ugly. Maybe in the future I can pretty that up, but I think that should work. So basically we're just saying we no longer care if it's actually paused in this specific case because skills specifically are not paused. And there you go. Now we can get out of here. All right, figured it out. Got it. That's good. That'll make it a lot easier to test things because that's been a problem for a while. There we go. Alrighty. This one was very simple. Just fixed exit button not working on skills. Awesome. All right. Now, what I was originally planning to do before I got sidetracked a bit, I got to make a new source to show this. I was thinking, you know, I used to make the puzzles like trying to like have some kind of ludonarrative connection between, let's see, Dryo. Oh, there it is. Perfect. Whoa. Okay, that doesn't look great. Used to try to have some kind of ludonarrative connection between the game and then like the actual puzzle itself, which sometimes makes sense. I guess this works. I wish there was a dark mode. Maybe there is. But then I also realized, you know what, these things are abstract enough that honestly, it probably would make a lot of sense to just make a ton of them, and then I'll just like, you know, use them whenever I need to. So I figured, you know what, let's just do that. That sounds like it might be kind of fun. And importantly, it's not really spoilerly, because that's the other thing I've been trying to figure out of things to stream that like I know I can stream without potentially breaking something. Or a better way of saying is, you know, ruining a surprise. Or 5. Anyway, so I need I want to make a couple really hard ones and some really, yeah, exactly. I mean, I guess I could just spoil it and just ruin everyone's day, but like, you know, something inside me says, hey, I don't know about that one, dude. I don't know about that one. All right, my first thought is let's start with trying to make a really hard one. Something that would be absurd. Because I've always liked making just ridiculously difficult puzzles, but then we can tone it down from there. That's actually how the, what is it, like the Stone Watchers started out, because I just wanted to make a really difficult puzzle, and I actually toned that down a lot, and it still ended up being really difficult. So we'll do something like that. So this is the slider puzzle, and the way I like to represent the different nodes and whatnot is through this. I've already got a scratch pad of stuff here. Wee. So, let's make a smiley. Okay, we could do that. Yeah, let's make a smiley. That's a great start. Let's go even more intense. More. Let's see. What looks more like a smile? All right, they have to connect first of all. So obviously we have to have some kind of connection here. Maybe something like this. And then maybe something like this. Should we give them eyes? That kind of looks a little... I don't know. Oh, I just realized this is completely covering my face too. That's hilarious. This is more important anyway. All right, hello. It looks like a beard. It does. That did not help. I can't make it too vertical because the way the map... Actually, that's a lie. The map now can expand a lot higher, so maybe I can make it more vertical. Because before the map was always like so like, you know, rectangular. Yeah, no, Stonewatcher's definitely... I had to nerf that one multiple times, and even then I was like, you know what? It's fine. You don't have to do this one. It's fun to have at least one that's like really challenging. I'm thinking about adding like a hint system into the game of some kind, though I don't want it to actually be like a, hey, do this thing. No, it looks like a hat. Yeah, well, you know. What about eyes? I think it needs like some eyes, but I somehow need to connect these two. What was I saying? I don't remember. I already lost it. Oh man, that looks like a happy dude now. Okay, so now that looks kind of like a toilet. How could I make the eyes connect to the... I can just move them down like this, yeah. No, it's an arrow. You know, well. Actually, wait. Here's an idea. They don't have to connect. It's 3 separate puzzles. You get a tiny little guy here, then another tiny little guy here, and then you got like the big one with the smile down here. Because you have to connect all the origin points, so we'll just say maybe like one of the origin points is like this. And probably more like this. Boop. Boop. And then this over here. And so yeah, we'll have to make a tiny little puzzle over here. And then probably 2 origin points at the corners. That feels like that makes sense, right? All right, so I'm thinking the core of this. So again, these need to connect a little bit. If it's just a straight line, that's not going to be much of a game. Hopefully that looks all right. Partially this is getting messied up because we need symbols so I remember what's what, but I think that'll look okay with an asterisk. So I'm thinking this loop for the bottom one, this loop will be it. This will be how things manage. I guess we'll need a goal and an origin here, so I have to think of this through too. Where are these goals and origins coming from? These will be very easy puzzles, I think, up here. I'll have to expand the eyes, I think. I don't think there's any way to get around that. They have to be a bit bigger. Oh, well, I could use these. Because I already made a 3x3. That could work. Yeah, so we need some kind of setup where basically I'm thinking it'll be there's a piece you need over here. So let's say it's this. Let's first draft out what it should look like when completed. We'll make a piece over here. And then maybe it's something like here, then here. And perhaps we give him teeth, and that's what the goals are. So it's like you have to get it here and here. And then maybe doot. And then doot. And then doot. All right. Let's thought one. That's how it goes. So then, of course, we mess it all up. Maybe we make a couple blocks here. Okay, yeah, that's good enough. Get a couple blocks. Comes down around like a snake, and now they have to be set up in such a way so that you have to actually do something to get to this. So if we take something like this and put it over here instead. Whoopsies. Throw these over here. Honestly, that alone might do a lot to mess it up. Like, flip these around just to throw people off. And, maybe that's all you need. Spread out the blocks, throw this over here. And congratulations, you've got yourself a puzzle down there. Now, is it possible? That's the more important thing. Also, just to make it obvious, what's not supposed to be traversable would be these three. These are like legitimately just not there. So you wouldn't have those as an option. But yeah, so this already kind of tells you what you need to do in the first place anyway. We could make it even worse if we do this. Now you're just like, oh, geez, what the heck? Oh, that's right. That just reminded me. So I was talking about the hint system just briefly. The idea would be that rather than telling you what to do, it would just give you superpowers, like what I just did. So like one thing you could do is you would just be able to use a hint point of some kind to just like take two pieces and swap their positions, which would really help for like the really hard puzzles. In the future, if you need to do that, then you could just use those to like, you know, buy your way out. And I'm not entirely sure how it should work. I'm thinking maybe like on a per day system, and based off of your intelligence. But I figure that might help for people who like really do not give a shit about puzzles and they just want to like randomly click their way to victory. It's like, okay, well, if you go intelligence max build, you can just cheat your way through to win. And that's more interesting in my opinion than me just like telling you the solution. Yeah, it also gives a nice value for intelligence too, because it's like right now intelligence only has a couple applications, and like it's strong. It is actually pretty strong, but it's not obvious, as I think is the biggest problem. It's only strong in the sense that like a lot of like small bad things won't happen to you, but you don't even know it's working half the time. So this would be a more obvious like, oh yes, this is a thing that's useful to me and I want to do this. All right, so let's actually see if this is even possible. The trick with puzzles like this is that you have a giant circle to work with, and you can basically move the pieces around. My fingers, you can't even see it's this one. You just move the pieces around a circle. Okay, yeah, no, this is not helpful. Albert Einstein build real. Yes, it is. I might even have just Albert Einstein as like a skill. Just leave it at that. Doesn't even have a description. Just you learn it and you figure out what it does. But yeah, that would be, I think, pretty helpful for some people, because it's like there's a lot of different gameplay going on here, and maybe you just want like the other 70% of it. So the trick here we're gonna get with this circle is that we need to make sure. So because we also have these little, let's use a small example over here instead. If it's just a linear path, it's not actually a puzzle, because you can't move anything, right? Because you can't swap two pieces around, but you can move them into an empty space. And so the trick is, anytime you see something like this is your swap place. Because if you have like something going on like this, and you want it to be like this or whatever, you move this over here, you swap that, then you would swap it down. This is very easy because of the way it's set up, but you know, still. You have the conga line that moves forward just like you'd expect, right? This is normal behavior. But then when you reach this square, you can pull this down. Oopsies. And now is your opportunity to move this forward, because you have space made for. So now you could pull this down, but you can pull this over here and pull this over here, skip over to this one. Now you could move forward, and now you've just moved the 3 forward, right? And so depending on whatever your goals are, you can kind of adjust how this works. So then of course we can pull this back up here, pull this one back up. Pull this back up. Pull this over here, pull this one down, and then congratulations, you got the 4. It's a little messy, but hopefully you get the idea, right? So that's how, if you have like 2 openings like this, that you can now use this circle to slowly move things around like a train, and then rearrange stuff at this point, rearrange, and if you do that 3 or 4 times, suddenly you'll get whatever you need to get. So I'm thinking that's pretty much what this is going to be, is a lot of rearranging using these 2 points. Of course, it might be very tedious. I'm not entirely sure, but for now, you know, might be fine. Honestly, the easiest way to test this would probably just be to implement it, because hang on, I'm going to real quick turn off. Oh, actually, this covers the screen anyway. I need to go check and make sure that if I jump over into my room in Game Maker, I won't spoil anything. Let me close some of these. But I think that's how it actually works. Let's go into Ferry Boat. We're going to make a puzzle, a fake puzzle. We'll just say tester puzzle. I'm going to change the rules of ferry boat. FB1. We're going to say, I'm going to give myself a choice that just says puzzle. And it jumps to temp puzzle. All right, I need to actually go grab the I think I can show this, by the way. I was concerned at first, but now there's nothing here. We're gonna go to Misted Harbor. Yeah, I'm sure you were having a great time watching the flat screen. I just need to do this so I remember what the actual... Why is it all red? I don't get it. We'll do hidden, and then we'll do set map layer. Wonder why. I guess I'll just copy everything. Oh, right, and then success node. So then this will just be FB1. Makes sense. No experience. You get no experience for this. All right, we'll leave that as is. Then we come over here, and we don't want any weird stuff. Just when you enter, start the puzzle. When you exit, end the puzzle. Problem solved. Well done. Although I do need to do one last check, and that is I need to make sure and see how it is in the script file, because I don't fully understand. FB_1. Temp puzzle, yeah. Let's go. Okay, let's just see how this goes. If everything's been done correctly. Puzzle. Okay, what's up? Almost, but not quite. Choice puzzle with no... Oh, I have the wrong... That's why, my bad. I have the wrong... I misspelled this. Yeah, so close. Got right to the puzzle, and then it lied. Alright, nice. Let's go. Oh, you can't quit, though. Oh, no, you can. Alright, that's good. You know, for extra credit, you can actually solve this with less pieces. All right, we can just come right back here. Perfect. I should leave this in here. Actually, I should do something that like this is actually pretty helpful. I don't know why I never thought of doing this before. Normally, I just play through the game until I got to the place, but it's like the dumbest thing. All right, first we're gonna do just the smile portion. So okay, so what we need to do here? Is there a way for me to make this a little nicer? Okay, so that's good. It did that by itself. And then can I move this over here? Nice. Whoa. Whoa. All right, this isn't working as nicely. All right, there we go. So this looks like it's 4 columns or 4 rows. That's what we have to establish here, 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 columns. That's the first step. Now, establishing the rest of this becomes a real pain, and I have yet to really fully solve this problem. You just got to do it through code. I can't think of another way, unfortunately. Now, the way I handled it over here... Yeah, it's just a little... So, I guess the interesting thing is, should the goals be at the top left and top right? Or should they be where the teeth are? Which is better? This doesn't really matter too much, but either way, it's I guess it's a matter of where the light comes from. We'll start with row 1 though. Okay, so it's line left up. Yeah. You're gonna make me do it? You're gonna make me figure it out? Unbelievable. How could you? Actually, I think the easiest way to do this will just be space it out. So we have 0, 1. So this would be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so this is a thing, and then this is just nothing. Do. What did I say? Left up, left right, empty, empty. Oh, this would be block. Empty. So you said you mean 19? I don't know. I don't know. I don't remember what I said. Line upright. 1, 8. All right, that should be the first row. Then we just do the second row. Same deal. It's a bit tedious, but it's not really that bad. Down, right, or right down, gotcha. Then up, down. And then locked, because this doesn't actually exist. And I guess we'll just do origin. Yeah, we'll do goal. That's fine. That's what I have on the map. That's what we'll stick with. Up, down. Left, down. Sounds good. Then over here, same thing. 3, 3. Oh, yeah. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. In this case, it'll be locked. Then we have block. Left up. Or, wait. Line, oh, I see, left up. Then, line. Right, empty, left up, upright, block, locked. Perfect. And now the last thing is, of course, the first layer. Which this one's very easy. Just a lot of, actually, because of that. What would be the easiest way to do it? I'm not sure. Because almost all of these are just locked. That's all they are. They're just a bunch of non-existent cells. The only thing is just the top left and top right, which then end up being origins. I'm gonna have to take a look. How do origins define again? I see. So this would be origin down. They're both origin down. As for the goals, I forgot about that. Goals can be anything, right? I think they connect anywhere. Yeah, goals can be anything. Okay. Now we give this a shot. See what happens. That's pretty hefty. All right. All right, so this is it. This is the smile. So I think it should be possible. It's just going to be a lot. Too much space. Yeah, I wish I could do a smaller zoom than this. Unfortunately, it's either like a little too small or a little too big. Oh well, that's what it is. Can't move these. So then, yeah, then the trick would be, all right, I can already tell right away, this will break people's brains. They'll have to first be able to figure out where these pieces go in the first place. They have to actually figure out that, like, oh, that's where this needs to go. If you can't draw out the path by yourself, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. So we might be able to make a couple of these easier. I'm thinking the first thing we could probably do is we could probably make some of these like 4-ways, where, you know, it's like up, down, left, right. And so then that way it doesn't matter where it is. It could be anywhere to simplify the process just a bit. Okay, first problem could be that this is just way too tedious. I could totally see that. You're definitely gonna have to be doing a whole lot of clicking and moving. But it does seem possible. There we go. That's a good first step. Now we get into the first trouble portion. Very fun and easy puzzle. Now it gets tricky, right? Now we gotta figure out, we have to get these blocks up. So the first step is probably, oh yeah, no, I would tear out my hair. So I'm gonna make this simpler, but I'm gonna solve it at least once though. I just kind of want to. There's just way too many things to do. Oh my gosh. What a pain. This could be like 3 hours on its own, honestly. You could make an entire stream out of just solving this. All right, we got these places in the correct setup. So yeah, then we would have to just do order manipulation. No, I mean, this would be very challenging. So the trick we have to do is we have to first figure out exactly the order we want all these pieces to go in. So this would mean that this needs to go over here. This needs to go over here. Then we need to start messing with all of the order, all the piece orders, so we can figure out exactly where they're supposed to go. This means this would have to go over here, which means we have to loop all the way around, all those stuff. Yeah, that's just too much. So, okay, at least, you know, proof of concept though. So, ooh, where did my mouse go? There it is. So, first things first is probably take away some of the necessity here. I'm just going to cut out these two, move the goals over, so that's a little less stuff needed. So we can take away these two. So now there's just more empty space. Then we're just going to pull everything in one step. Probably makes the most sense. In 2 steps, actually. Kill both of those. And then pull this down 1 step. We should move these inward. I guess I'll put these over here, maybe first. Okay, yeah, that should work. So I can move these inward 1 step. Whoa, that's not what I meant to do. Of course, this means the eyes will be huge, but that's okay. We'll worry about that after the fact. The next thing is we probably don't need, we could probably simplify this. We'd probably, as long as you get the initial concept, the rest of it just becomes busy work. So we probably don't need every single piece to be opposite sides, just a couple. So we'll leave these 2 here. I'm also thinking about maybe making it so that, so again, these 2 are in the correct spot. These need to be flipped. These need to be down here. And then what we do is we swap these out with pieces like this, just to make it a bit more open. You got a bit more options towards how to use it. Now, I think it doesn't matter. These will have to be here regardless. But maybe not. I don't know. Would that actually make it any easier? Yeah, these have to swap over here, and these have to be here, so it kind of doesn't really help at all. What are the theoretical movements you'd have to make? So, same thing, kind of come over here, swap around, something like that. Maybe not. Maybe we leave it as this. What's up? Oh my gosh, you couldn't even see. Well, that's just magic. See, that's the trick. See, look, it transformed. Let me move this over here. Where the heck is where is this thing anyway? There it is. Yeah. Let's try this now. I'm gonna put this over here. We're gonna go over here. All right, so we can cut out 2 of these. Now there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 columns, so that's up to 6 instead. Simplifies things. So now we have left up and then empty. Then we have left up again. Then we've got a block. The old shack puzzle can be solved in 2. Can it? I have to go check that one. I'll have to see about that. That's not correct. Someone hacked. Who's got the code? Who's got the source code? What's going on here? Oh, this would actually be upright. My bad. What am I saying? This might take a while, so I might as well have both of them set up. I should make like a scene just for this, because yikes. Can't see shit, Wilbur. All right, empty. Upright. Block. Left up. Empty. Left up again. Should be all done. This should be 4, 5, 6. Awesome. Great. Now next row is right down. That's correct. Up, down. That's correct. It should be a goal. It should be another locked. That's true. That's real. Goal. Up, down. Yep. So the second row is perfectly fine. We didn't change a single thing. What's going on here? Uh-oh, something's happened. Right, down, up, down, goal, locked. Oh, okay. We just forgot to delete one. Wait, now I'm extra confused. Ay, Dios mío. All right. Round 3, baby. Locked. Block. Left up. This should be empty. Then left up. Should be upright. There we go. Block. Locked. Awesome. 6, 5, 4, 3. Try that for size. I have to go try that shack puzzle now, too. All right. Let's do this first. Whoa. Oh, right. I see what happened. All right, just pretend those don't exist. Those rows aren't real. They're a lie. The state just wants you to think there's extra rows. Don't give in. Oops. Of course, removing the blocks here would also be probably pretty helpful. Just makes things easier. I wonder if solving one side might be the proper way to do this. Of course, then the question becomes, how hard do we want it to be? Because then at this point it's decently hard, decently difficult. Oh, I just realized that this is stupid. This won't work at all. Yeah, see, because these can connect at any point, so there's literally no point at anything we just did. Oh my gosh, you can't see the puzzle at all. That's great. That's great. Where? Wait, how low does this need to go? Oh wow. Okay. Dang. Okay. Round 2. Well, while you left, you didn't miss it much because half of it wasn't even able to be seen. The first thing is we forgot to change the rows and columns and the like, so this is the lie of the state. The second thing is I just realized this entire puzzle doesn't even make sense because these can connect at any point, so all you have to do... I guess there's still a little bit of work you have to put in, but the whole connecting from the bottom isn't even necessary. Let's see, let me get this thing over here. If I get one of these pieces over. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, great. And then woo. I'll just for the sake of showing, I will abuse these a bit. Wait, why is it so difficult now? I mean, maybe there's still something here because now I'm getting stuck anyway. Showing is a word. we. Bruh, how am I struggling with this now? Did I take stupid pills? Still can barely even see it anyway. This just isn't a great setup. I wonder if maybe my face should just get like... Oh wait, what if I... This probably wouldn't make a difference if I just move the game up to this corner instead at the end of the day. Right, it's like basically the same thing. So I think there's still something we can do here. Yeah, maybe it's not all a lost cause. I just got twisted around. Anyway. Okay, that's all I wanted to show. It connects to the top. It connects to any adjacent thing. I forgot that's the rule. And so, that obviously makes things kind of weird the moment we start trying to deal with that. Oh, I have to really think. Words are fun. I have to rethink that a little bit. But let's jump over to Cold Gates because I am very curious about what's going on. I didn't get it. Wait. All right, we're gonna use some fun here. We're gonna give myself 30 reason, and I forget if it's a reason or awareness, honestly. Bookshelf. Oh, hey, I found the puzzle. Check that out. All right, apparently this can be solved in 2 moves. All right, I need to, let's give me a sec here. Right, the lights don't work anymore. Oh, what a pain. I just talked about that like an hour ago. We're going to see what's up here. For now, button. Inherit event. And we're going to say here. We're going to say, just draw light hover. And, this is if clicker is state. Clicker state event type hover. I don't like this, but it would work. That's what we're gonna have to do. Hello, hi. I have to, dealing with Windows is a pain because I always forget to change them, but basically just, I have to throw them the draw event because I can't draw things with the way the system works otherwise. The details don't matter. It's just pain. That's the only thing that matters. All right, puzzle. Awesome, perfect. Now we get a chance to play this out. 2 moves, 2 moves. I don't believe it was supposed to be that easy, but... Oh, maybe. All right, well... I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's not a problem. Okay, well, all right. Yeah, all right. That one's not nearly as hard as it looks, I guess. Well, I know I was talking with Mike before about like the clickers being kind of like most people seem to solve them by just like spamming the buttons. And I kind of realized after the fact, I'm like, yeah, it's not really the best puzzle design. I was thinking about kind of doing less of them, but that is a lot more interesting. If I say you have to solve it in 2 moves, that makes that one a lot more interesting because now you have to actually like take some time and really look at it. Because I did not realize it was that easy. It's like so many of those buttons aren't even, you don't even need them. I don't know. I mean, it's not supposed to necessarily be that hard anyway. I guess I'll leave it. That's kind of funny though. This entire time. All right. So back to this one. Bread. All right, you're gonna have to expound a bit more on that. Oh yeah, that's how we get to it. So if these can be connected at any point, and this is kind of not really a smile, let's be honest, right? This no longer looks quite like a smile, but these can be connected at any point. So thinking face, we might be able to pull something off here. Take a quick screenshot for myself so I can kind of see it. Put this over here. All right, cool, awesome. I think that does it. I think these 2 should be removed right away. Actually, what if I just did main monitor visible? I feel like that'd be easier to work with, right? Then it just updates automatically. That's nicer. So that will cut these guys. And if we were trying to make a smile then, we can't connect from the bottom. That was my mistake. So instead, let's focus more. Or wait. If we swap the... So the outputs can go... They can be specifically out one direction. So we could still make this work. But it's kind of a pain regardless. So I think I will swap these 2 regardless, no matter what, just because that'll make it easier to control. So these should be the goals. So you can only connect to them from one spot, whereas these are the origins that can only be connected from one spot as well. So that helps simplify things a little bit. But the next step is trying to figure out what we should do. Oops, to make this not nearly as tedious, but still difficult. No, I think we do need these no matter what. As long as these are, I guess they just need to be empty, that's all. Because you need space to move. So we leave these here. But then maybe the path should be something like this. Right? Get a full smiley. Feels like that makes the most sense. So the ideal path would be more like this instead. Verticals go here. And if we force these to be left and right, then that should work. I think so. I think this will be good. Of course, this does still leave a gap, but, you know, that's not too big of a deal. It's kind of a boxy smile, but Whatever works. All right, as for these, we'll leave these as empty then. Whoa, as empty then. These aren't necessary anymore. Maybe we start with this. This is probably better. This seems good. Yeah, let's try that. This will be a lot easier, and that might be a nicer starting point. What's up? Back to this. Put this 7. All right, that should hopefully keep things better. Goal and then goal again. Then we have line up, down. All right. Empty, empty, block, empty, empty, line up, down. Pretty simple. Oh, I will need to move these. That is silly of me. Let's just swap these two, yeah? There we go. Because otherwise this will immediately auto-solve. All right. I'll still be here. Still be working. Left, right, origin. Origin just left. Locked, origin right. Left, right, and then let's be upright. That should do it. Then locked. What? What's happening right now? What do you mean the main project file has changed? GameMaker, what are you doing? Let's go ahead and just Control A. Hey, I'm worried. Save. All right. Anything change? No. Looks good. Solid. All right. That worried me for a bit, but seems like we're fine. I don't know what. Usually that only happens if something in like the game files have changed from an outside source, but like that shouldn't have happened. So it's like, whoa, what do you mean? Hang on now. This is not part of the deal. Wow, this one's taking a long time to compile. Is there any reason for that, or who knows? Yeah, no, this is taking forever. What the heck? Did it like, maybe I hit a hotkey or something like that by accident. Ooh. Check that out. I drink 17 of these every day. It runs right through me. Nice. Okay. So this one's much simpler overall. Honestly, still decently difficult, right? At least I think so. Maybe I just make the smile even smaller. Because you still have to do quite a bit of finagling here. The blocks are in the way. And there you go. That should do it. I think it's just too difficult. Maybe I could try, I mean, this might be just like a functionality problem. Maybe I need to try and like get a way for the controls to like, you can click and just drag something across. But yeah, there you go. That would do it. So now the next question is, how do we make it harder? Do we need to make it harder? We might be able to take these pieces away. Honestly, that would probably be, that probably would work. Take this piece away, take this piece away, cut it even one more. Excuse me. I'll just do that for now. Try that out. Because otherwise it'll just be too annoying trying to deal with that. Now it's just 1, 2, 3, 4. Much easier, much nicer. One, 2, 3, 4. Up, down. We removed an empty block twice. 2, 3, 4. And then left up. No longer have the left rights to deal with. 2, 3, 4. That's it. Actually, we could go even one step further, remove the middle. Actually, is probably the best idea, and just have a single left-right origin. I like that the most. I'll do that next. I forgot to change the thing again. Because, yeah, I think the fun... we do need those middle pieces. Okay. Let's undo all of that. Just for a sec. Whoops. Not that far. We do still need these because that's how we have our space. We need the square. We need a square of stuff to work with. But what we can do instead is remove this. Remove the locked. Whoa. Sometimes stuff just happens and I'm always surprised when it does. Cut out one of the middle ones. 3, 4, 5. Cut out the middle locked. 3, 4, 5. Cut out the middle block again. 3, 4, 5. Now we just have a single origin point in the middle that's both left and right. So we don't need all this other jazz. We cut this. Then we've got 4 here and 4 here, while still having a circle. That might work. That might do it. Yeah, maybe we do still end up cutting 2. We've got 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. This middle one's a block. Another block. 2, 3, 4. And finally, left, up, left, right. Left, right. 2, 3, 4. Try running this. See how this goes. There you go. All right. Oops, origin's too far. It's in a cell that doesn't even exist. That's the saddest thing. Can't get much worse than that. Oops. All right. Now, it's looking good. It's the same basic thing, but now it's basically down to its core components. It's just a small little roundabout. But the idea is basically the same. Less room, though, does make it a lot harder to deal with. This is kind of like a medium-sized puzzle, basically, right? Like a medium difficulty, maybe. It's not too tough, but you can still get it. Now you get a little smile, hooray. And it actually connects, which is nice. I wonder if there's a way to make it so we can like unclear the puzzle, but for now, we'll leave it as is because puzzles currently don't exist in a world where you can actually, how to say, you can't complete them more than once. All right, so now we have big eyes to worry about. So right away, that's lovely. But now we want to draft this out one row. So I'm going to actually do row plus plus because we're going to add more rows above and we want to make this easy to adjust. So that'll be where row is 4. In this case, row will be equal to 3. Row will be equal to 2. Row will be equal to 1. Var row equals 0. So now each time we make a new row, it should be very easy to proliferate. Alrighty. Now we have the 2 eyes. I want to save this. I think this is actually a pretty nice little puzzle. Not too tough. I think it's nice. It'll really be a little medium-sized puzzle at some point to do. This one is more complex. Well, it can barely as complex as we want it to be. If we go instead, is this the real Transcend Pixels? No, I'm actually a copy. Unfortunately, what ended up happening is I went into one of those quantum teleporters and I came out the other side with all my thoughts, but I knew deep down inside that I died, actually. And so I am nothing but a shell of the same exact atoms, but they're not actually the same atoms. They're just the same compilation of them all. It's very, very sad. Anyway, you're gonna have to donate $50 to make up for it. As for this one, whoopsies. Put this over. Yeah, I know. You can just tell right away just by looking at me I'm not the real one. It's pretty obvious. If we pull over here, you can get this guy and this guy. There you go. Now the question is, how do you even make this a puzzle, though? Because, like, I guess I can put it up here, but I mean, like, come on, you're just gonna pull this down. And there's nowhere to move, so you kind of need a little extra space. If I connect the 2 eyes, it's gonna look weird as all hell, but, you know, it'll help a little bit. Philosophical zombie. Yeah, I'm gonna use that. That's my term now. Not a real one, just a philosophical one. Add blockers. True. Well, the trick is, of course, trying to make sure that it actually ends up being beatable, too. Because while we could probably put blocks here, then we have the question of where to put them. I guess, I mean, this is actually pretty simple, isn't it? Oh, no, it's not really. You'd move this here, you'd pull this down. I was thinking then, like, you'd move this back, but there's nowhere to move it back to, right? So, unless there's a way to move this... Okay, hang on. Maybe if there's a way you could somehow get this block over to here, right? Something like that. Then, like, I don't know. You move this here, you move this in the position, then you get this over there, and then move. Maybe we just need one block in the way. Whoopsies. If we put a none piece here, this might make it a bit too easy. Pull this over here, pull this over there. Block down. Pull them back. Then come down. Kind of... just make an impossible puzzle that you have to donate. I could just be like EA at that point, you know? Pretty much. You have to pay $2.99. I mean, there was originally a thought of, like, you know, energy being something that would restore over, like, real time. And then we're like, what if we charge like $1.99 for, like, energy packs? And I'm like, no, Dark Egg just isn't. Like, it's not gonna, there's nothing that can be gained from like real-time passing that would make it like more fun. And I don't want to start charging microtransactions for, at least not for this game. It's not designed for it. It would just be very fun to just get roadblocked by DLC and shit. If we make the eyes more like spikes. I mean, I guess I would prefer it to be like kind of an obvious puzzle as opposed to just being an impossible one, right? So I suppose I wouldn't mind. Yeah. You didn't know this, but I've been working for EA this entire time, and I just haven't been telling you. And that was the hint, and none of you picked up on it until now. It's unbelievable. Very disappointed. So here's the trick. We're going to try and I'm gonna try this. I think it's like not hard, but it's like you'll have to think about it a little bit. The Dark Egg expansion. That's the dark chicken. If it throws you off a lot, I know it's very unusual, very surprising. Yeah. Start with the greatest items you could possibly get. Just, it only ruins the experience. That's all it ends up doing. I'll just do it this way. Start at row -1, then do row ++. That way I can make it very easy. We're gonna do locked. Okay, so actually we need to add two. Okay, this gets more complicated than I thought. We need to add 2 more rows, or 2 more columns. Yeah, 2 more columns on the left and right side. Then what we have to do is we have to put in locked on each side here for all of these. So that's fun. Locked, locked, locked. Because we have to actually add in this extra row here. So that's what's going on there. Then we need to have an entire row of literally nothing but locked pieces. So these don't connect. That's all these. Then we need another row of a locked piece, and then an empty piece, and then a goal. Oh, shoot. This should be fine, actually. Let's... Yeah, it should be fine. Okay. So this can still just be the goal. Coming down. Empty. Origin. Up. Then locked. Then origin up again. Then empty. Then locked. One more time. Empty. Then line. Up, right. Block. Locked. Block. Line left up. Empty. And finally, locked. Goal. Left down. Locked. Line. Right down? Yeah. Goal. Locked. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. There's got to be an easier way of doing this. I should probably try and see if there's something else I can do. I've changed my mind about this. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Say 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So yeah, definitely add 4 over here. And now we need to make these actually increment. Yeah, this is just so tedious. It's like, it's not that bad, but at the same time, it's like, I feel like there's definitely got to be some way for me to improve upon this process. But every time I've looked into it, I'm like, I don't actually know what I would do differently, because I have to explicitly say where all the pieces go. There's kind of just no other way. I guess maybe I could try doing it like a list of pieces, but I don't even know if that'd be easier to deal with, because it would still just be a ton of like slider type locked, slider type left, slider type like, etc., etc. So whatever the easiest way is, I'm not sure, but this certainly does not seem like it would be it. All right. First things first is we have to make sure it looks correct in the first place. So nice here so far. This kind of looks like, this actually does kind of look like a weird Joker smile right away. And so you immediately have 3 things you got to deal with. These top ones are easier. They're not too bad. Immediately get those going. So yeah, that kind of looks like a face already. That's not so bad. Yeah, it could be worse. And then this is the real puzzle, pretty much. Which I guess technically spoilers if I ever use this. You know, now you get to solve it, but whatever. I'm sure you'll forget. I forget half the time. You have to loop these around. All right, so far so good. But now we have to figure out how to get this around here. There you go. How much does that look like a face? I'm not sure. But honestly, not that bad. That kind of feels like a good puzzle. I'm gonna take a screenshot of that. I don't like the look it's giving me. It's making me feel very uncomfortable. Yeah, look at that guy. No, he's being nice. He probably just, you know, I don't know. He's probably nice. It's like that weird touchy uncle that you don't want to that you don't want to talk to, but your parents make you talk to anyway. Whoopsies. And this is just annoying enough that I'm like, yeah, I probably shouldn't even bother making it harder. That also looks like a face too. Beep, 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 beep. Stop it. Stop it. I need to make this probably more... I think I might expand these hitboxes. I think, actually a new idea, maybe make it so you can't pan if you're clicking on any of these. It's probably a good idea. Because it is very annoying as I'm trying to move around to keep clicking and panning this thing. Now it's also because it's kind of tiny, but I can't really zoom in because it's just too big. Of course, if I make this expand higher too. Anyway, whatever. Put this over here, put that over there. There you go. This box goes down there, and now we're solved. Cool. Just take another screenshot of this. This does not look like a face when you finish it. Not as much, at least, but it's close enough, kind of. Here, he looks like he's kind of pensive. Here, he looks like something's gone horribly wrong at this point. But I'll take it. That's a nice medium. I would even say that's kind of like medium hard. So you have to think it through. You've got to look and see and figure out what you're supposed to do. And then you have to actually go through the effort of doing it. That's decent. So now I have to figure out what to do to save this. What would be the best way to save this? The Sentinel puzzle. Like how I made it or how you're supposed to do it? Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. I mean, originally it was actually a lot harder and I dumbed it down multiple times because I realized, oh shoot, it's like way too difficult. It's like I had to keep, like how I made it. Yeah, well, so for that particular puzzle, there was, the idea kind of started of like having 4 corners that you have to light up, or like, I guess it turned out to be, you've got 4 things coming out. Good chance to see the progress of the wiki. I haven't actually. I'm not sure if you're saying that to me or Papa Duck, but yeah, the idea about the puzzle was having like the 4 corners in the middle centerpiece, and like the other setup was also trying to create it. So this is actually the blueprints for it. as it ended up being, I think, is that like the way to actually make it work. Let's see if I can set up a save that can actually open up that puzzle. I really should just have a easy way of doing this. Oh, wait, I'm an idiot. Never mind. Hang on. I got an even better idea. First, let me copy and paste this somewhere. I should have like I think I'll make like a text file of all the puzzles in this game. All the puzzles I plan to have, because I don't want to lose this. New text file, let's see. Do that. All right. Now, all I have to do is go to Cold Gates. Second floor. Yeah, I'll have to check out the wiki then. I didn't know things changed so much. Oh, nice. That's really cool. Yeah, Papa Duck's been lacking. So it's good that someone else is showing up. All right. So I'm just going to throw the puzzle into the testing puzzle area. There we go. Here we are. So the trick to this puzzle, and the thing that made me really like it, was basically it's almost entirely solved. The only thing that actually has to change, and so this is kind of the first trick, is actually noticing this in the first place, is that this piece has to be here, and this piece has to be here, right? And I could never decide which one it needed to be, which one would be better, I guess, if I started it like this, maybe. But that would be the kind of the whatever it ends up being. This is kind of the, like, I guess, hint I try to give you and hope you notice, is that these two pieces have to be swapped. And then the question is, how do you actually do that? And so there used to be a bunch of blocks here too that would like impede your progress. There's like 2 of them right here, and I was like, this is way too much of a pain. I might even remove the blocks on the smile one too if I ever put that in and get people to test it, because turns out a lot of people didn't even notice that that was how it was supposed to be. For a lot of people, they immediately started going like, all right, well, let's figure this out. And it's like, oh no, it's all getting ruined immediately. It's just like, but yeah. No, I mean, that's the thing. That was what we realized of why it needed to be nerfed a bit, and then why we decided to improve the rewards. Because I noticed back when we used to have analytics, the average time spent was something like 110 minutes on this, and we're like, oh no, that's not supposed to be like that. It's not supposed to be that bad. So, you know, I eventually decided I liked having at least one really hard puzzle, so I decided to improve the reward instead. But it's definitely not meant to be as, I mean, I guess it was a learning process. It's like, okay, so this is what a hard puzzle looks like. That is helpful to know for the future if I ever make something like this. Yeah, it's a massive process, and learning that was helpful because now I know, like, you know, the developer's perspective is very different from the player's perspective. I know from my own self, tone it down a bit in the future. It's not as easy as you think it is. Of course, then there's a question too. Sometimes I wonder how helpful. So we don't even have analytics anymore, by the way, because GameMaker updated to 64-bit, and that broke the extension. I contacted the people that made it, and I never got a response back. So unfortunately, it was just like, okay, we no longer have any clue how people are playing this game. We did notice there were some people on this one where they also took like 40 minutes to finish it. So we're like, okay, some of this might literally just be people going like, oh, this is kind of cool, and then they get up and go eat something. So it's like, how helpful is that actually? I don't know. If you can't figure this out, that's very concerning, because it's like, how, you know? Whoa, where even was I? But yeah, hopefully this would be relatively simple. Also, okay, I was confused for a second of what was going on here, but no. Some of these might be a bit tougher. You should track how many moves it takes for them to solve. Yeah. Well, so unfortunately, yeah, right now it's completely impossible. That would probably be a good idea, though. If we ever were able to re-implement, that probably would be smart. So you can tell if they're just sitting there with no moves for like 30 minutes. But yeah, unfortunately, it's just straight up impossible now. We can't. Well, I shouldn't say that. It is possible. It's just that if I put it into the game again, the game will run for about like 1 minute or so. It seems to be pretty consistent, 1 to 2 minutes, and it will just crash without a bug, without an error message. It just freezes and crashes. And I realized it was the extension crashing, which is why there's no error message, because it's actually a third-party thing. So I'm just like, all right, well, this doesn't work. And I told them, and they're like, we'll look right into it. That was like 9 months ago. So it's like, I guess they don't care. To be fair, they have the extent, it's like a third-party thing, and they've got, yeah, exactly. It's just basically Bethesda at this point. They do stuff for Unity and Unreal Engine, so I'm guessing that Game Maker's probably just very low on the totem pole, and they're like, whatever, it's fine. You know, we have like 1% of our user base that sucks now. Like, I guess you have to live with it. But yeah, so development of that puzzle basically just started from this idea of having a harder puzzle and then having like the solution already given to you more or less. And then I was like, yeah, this will be fine. And then people really struggle with it. And I was like, okay, all right, never mind. We'll learn from that. So even this one alone, it's like, okay, this might actually, we could remove these blocks and that might help, because just the simple idea of swapping these two might be harder to figure out than you'd think. It's obvious to me because I just made it, but to someone seeing this for the first time, I don't know. I'd have to see. You know? Again, the way you arrange the beginning pieces makes a big difference, because sometimes you can immediately tell them what to do just by the arrangements, but sometimes it's hard to tell exactly how much hints you want to give. We're going to make another simpler one that's actually based off of the original starting one, the 3x3 you begin the game with. You've got a piece here, a piece there, 2 verticals, and you have to just put this piece up to the top. I've just kind of reoriented this a little bit to kind of make it harder to deal with, because I thought that'd be a nice homage. So like, you know, 3 dungeons down, you get to see this puzzle and you're like, oh, look how far I've come. I get it now. Maybe. Or you get stuck for an hour. I'm not sure. Hopefully. I know which one I would prefer it to be. I don't know which one it'll actually be. Okay, so this will be row 0. 1, 2, 3. This will be block, line, left, right. 1, 2, 3. Line, left, down. Line, right, down. Origin. Okay. So I need to think what to do here. Right, one of these has to be a goal. The other one has to be an origin. So I think as long as we make sure that this origin is in fact... Also, we'll make this blue because I think it's solved. I think this is a good one. These probably should be red because they're not ready yet, but... Oh well. I forget all this stuff. Blue. Yeah. That's my favorite color. It's my favorite color. No one else can have that favorite color. I claimed it when I was 2. Maybe I was 1. I don't know. I'm kind of an early bloomer like that. Block. Left down, right down, and then we need a goal and an origin. What's happening here? I don't know. I opened something by accident. Whoopsies. It'd be origin up, I guess, and then this would be the goal, and then this would be empty. And otherwise, it's very tiny that way. This is a very tiny one. Whoopsies. Should just be 1s all the way. Awesome. Oops, it's a 3x3. All right, there we go. So this is puzzle number 2. I already made this one before. That's even what got me into the idea of just... I mean, that puzzle took like an hour and a half to make, so I guess we're maybe only going to get a couple. I thought we'd make like a bunch, but I need one less. We'll just pretend this row doesn't exist for now. So this one is relatively simple, but Why can't I? Oh, have we made a critical mistake? Yes, I understand now. It's supposed to be 0, 1, 2. The absolute buffoon. Alrighty. So yeah, that'd be the first step, is get that block out of there. And so it ends up being the exact same puzzle as before, but now there's just a lot more to work with. Ooh, so it is kind of tricky. What do we do now? I swear I'd already solved this, but right now it seems impossible. Is it impossible? Is it? Oh, I did it. Wait, now I'm not sure. How did I do that? I gotta go check that out again. Okay, it is possible. But how did I do that? This obviously goes down. Then we have to swap these two around. I see, so it's about getting the order correct. Okay, yeah, that's like a medium, maybe medium low. That's the way you cook eggs. Put it on medium low. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty decent. I'm a little unsatisfied with that, just a bit. It seems a little, I don't know. We'll save this one still, but I don't even know where to save this. .text puzzles.txt. That's probably good. All right, well, since that other one took so long to make, I guess we'll make one more. Let me just double check that this is in fact copied and pasted. And I guess that's good. So now, well, we'll leave it there for now, but otherwise, excuse me. Okay, we'll make one more. All right, so we made smiley face. Now, easy puzzles are easy to make, so again, a very hard... I'd prefer like an actually hard puzzle as opposed to a tedious one. So now the question is, how do you do that? How do you make an actually hard puzzle? Although the first question is, how long is it going to take me to pee? Because I need to do that, so I'll be back in a second. All right. Oof. Let's go. All right, you were timing me, right? What was that? 5 seconds? 17 seconds? 17 minutes? Well. Dang. I don't know if that's actually good or not. But that was sub 100 seconds, yeah? That's 2 digits. Let's go. Okay. What would be bathroom break PR, baby? See, now this actually makes me want to like start stopwatching every time I go pee to see how fast. I wash my hands too, so that would be two categories, right? Wash hands and no wash hands. So like, you have to figure out because like those would be 2 different types of people that would play those categories. Clean percent and unclean percent. Yeah. That sounds like something people would say before they burn the heretics. What makes a puzzle like this difficult? This is getting very philosophical, but you know, because I mean, tedium is one thing, but what exactly is it that would make you go like, ooh, I don't know what I'm supposed to do? Blocks help for sure, because it's immediately just like, I can't do the thing I want to do. Size. True. The bigger, the harder. Don't take that out of context. Lateral thinking required to solve it. Brute force required. You know, maybe the number of options you're given as well. I think I remember taking notes on like what makes a puzzle difficult in the past. But again, this is specific. There's not really really that many options given to you, I suppose. Or maybe there are. I don't know. All right, well, first we got to start with a goal. We got to start with an origin, at least, somewhere. It's true. Yeah, I mean, you can't get it randomly if there's like a bunch of really precise, specific things. So size definitely helps. But you got to be careful. I've learned already from the smile, getting it too big makes it very tedious if you're not careful. That was the first thing I noticed when it was very wide. Because it used to be like, what, like 3 extra rows long? And it was just like, oh, you know, it took so long to move. Yeah. Something where you have to be you can't just randomly rotate. You have to actually like be very like precise. I guess maybe stuff where it's like you go one way and like it actually makes the puzzle impossible to solve. I don't know if there's a way to do that with this. But I could see a world where it's like you have to reset the puzzle because it just becomes impossible, which means you need a specific number of actions. But I could see a way to do that with a clicker puzzle. That'd be possible there. Something that like locks a light permanently and you just like can't unlock it. It's just like, oh, whoops, okay. Didn't mean to do that, sorry. All right, well, we can start. This is pretty big. I appreciate this. We could probably do something. Let's try 2 origins right away. Let's see what happens here. 2 goals. Kind of like that. Or pieces on that tile can't move. That is a thought. So that doesn't currently exist in the game, but that might be an interesting concept. I remember one of my friends played this puzzle, and so interestingly, right, this was kind of half inspired off of like the flow puzzle. I don't know if you've, like, I don't know what the exact name is, but it's kind of like this, but instead of like moving the pieces around, you like turn them. So this turns into like one of these types of puzzles, or one of these types of pieces. And so you just turn it around like clockwise or something like that until they like fit together and the stuff flows through. Yeah, pipe. Yeah, exactly. The pipes game. And that I didn't want to like just copy that game, so I tried to come up with like my own interesting spin on it. I like the way this came out, but then one of the first things he said when he plays, like, oh, this reminds me of the pipe. Yeah, I like that game better. It's like, oh, thanks. Okay, well, but with that in mind, that would be a thought. Is like having pieces that work more like that could be interesting too. Kind of mix the two together. Yeah, if a piece couldn't move, that might be interesting. So you have to learn how to use that thing. As it is right now, I'm not going to go too deep into trying to add new features because that takes a lot longer than just building new puzzles. But we do at least have locked boxes in, like, you know, boxes that just don't exist. That'd be something. Although, how hard would that be to add it? It might not actually be as hard as it sounds. Because at the end of the day, like, I think it's just a single variable I can set that just says you can't move this anymore. Man, I wish I had the power to do that. Could you imagine? Just have hands come out of the screen and just beat the shit out of you for having the audacity to do what you're not supposed to. Whoa, why is this doing this? Let's try. Let's just set up right away and see. Give this a shot. Got the slider cells. And in here, we can just add a new setup. Just like this. And we will make this one called... I'd have to make a locked version of all of these. That would be tough. Yeah. Yeah, I could get like a dark egg anti-cheat specifically just to slap you every single time. I'm actually going to change the way I'm doing this. We're going to make a separate variable, not a type. That's going to be too difficult. I can see that being... I mean, a locked box could work, but it's not really any different than just a locked... It's the same exact thing. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to make an actual variable. I think we already kind of do this. Called... clickable, sure. And this is generally true. This is generally true. But we can temporarily set it to false. This might be a little bit too intense. Slider place. This returns the cell itself. This is probably not a good idea, but we're going to try it anyway. First, let's just see what happens if I just run this as is, because I haven't tested it yet. Okay, right, that's going to be a little weird. Let's just bring back the original puzzle first. Cool. Okay, so this is a working puzzle. We're going to make the block in the middle unable to be moved by just doing something like this. Clicker, destroy. I'm going to see if this is a thing that works. Destroy, baby, destroy. This is very hacky, but basically we're just going to target the hitbox controller itself and just say you don't work anymore. And it worked. We can't click on it anymore, so you just can't move it anymore. Now, again, this is very hacky. I would like to come up with a better solution than this, but yeah, this would make it harder. You can't turn it, so it's not going to work like the original pipes thing, but that's okay. Now the question becomes... So, I mean, again, it really is pretty simple. All I have to do is just, like, throw in... What would be the easiest way of doing this? So we can get rid of this. Yeah, probably a different sprite's a good idea. That's true. Something that lets you know. It'd be too hard to tell otherwise. Click or destroy, and then I would think we should just make a function called, like, lock cell. That's probably fine. And all this does is it just says it's a one-way. I'll say this much. It's a one-way. This is not undoable, but assuming I build all these like before the game even loads, so it should be fine. A literal lock. I mean, that's what I do for the clickers, the switch puzzle, right? I just put literal locks on top of them, so that might be enough. I need to figure out where to call this. And let me put a quick note. Put a lock on the piece. First of all, I have to remember where the heck these pieces even are. SPR slider cell. This is where they are. Oh, whoa, I forgot about the arrows. Yeah, oh, this used to be a thing. So the idea would be that if you put a piece onto this, it would shoot it out in a specific direction. Forgot all about that. That doesn't exist. What if it's on like a pipe? What do you mean? Let's see, where am I in here? Spare size line. Okay, so we got all of these. These are 25 by 25. Oh, like put the lock on the pipe is what you're saying? So yeah, I'm thinking what I might do here is like, because I don't want to have to recreate these sprites. I'm gonna make another see, it just creates a sprite. It's fine. So a sprite slider lock. Whoa, and then 25. We're gonna make it the same settings as middle center, 25 by 25, and we're gonna make this just a lock. It's gonna be a little ugly for now. We'll figure this out as we go. What do I do for the switch puzzle? Nice. SPR switch. Light, I think is maybe more correct. Light hover. Okay, yeah. I guess we'll use this as inspiration. Not the greatest lock I've ever done. Let's use the marker instead. SPR locked. Marker. Lock. There it is. Okay. I guess this does it for now. That'll work. That'll do. This will make it pretty obvious. You're not gonna be able to see the pipe at all, though, I think. But maybe we could do like an alpha thing. I'm sure with some smart positioning too. But for now, this will do it. So we'll display this. Whoa. Okay, where are we? Where did we go? Gotta come back to slider cell. Here we are. All right. So when we do slider place, I think what we'll do it here. When we first create it, we'll do lock equals false because we want to have this have a default. Since so far we've never done this before, we want to make sure that this is something that every other previous function won't need to be added. Otherwise, this would be crazy. I'd have to go through all of them and do a bunch of extra stuff. So use a nice default here, and just now they will all assume it's false unless I tell them otherwise. So in this case, I would just say true. Now this block is locked. And then down here, probably the easiest way is just say if lock. Then we just take this code that I wrote over there. Lock cell. Actually, click or destroy might even be better. If lock cell destroy. Boom. We don't even need that function. That's the thing. Yeah. Yes. The code goblins, of course. That's kind of what I call myself at this point. Now, when it comes to drawing, this becomes interesting because I have to remember how the heck this is going to work. I think I can I'll have to do something like this. If clicker no exist, then we do, oh my gosh. Actually, there's probably an easier option here. Professional code. Yes, I'm a professional. I prefer that. Thank you. Refer to me as my title. TP Goblin Doctor. We'll just make this a variable that just says true now. And normally it says false. This is terrible, by the way. But, you know, if it works, right? Because I had to do a specific thing, and that's going to be a pain. So just for the sake of making sure this works for now, We'll do sprite, draw. No, it'd be draw sprite. Sprite. I think that literally is it. This sprite, 0, XY. Fingers crossed. Doctorate in Goblin, Master in Code, baby. That's the only thing. I send a resume of a blank piece of paper with those 2 sentences. That is my entire resume. Okay, great. I think this is why. Put it in here. Clicker no exist there. And then cell dot whatever. Problem solved. Yeah, no, I mean, that's pretty honest, actually. All code is absolutely awful when you first make it, and then you improve it later. I would say that's a very accurate job description. Okay, so that's not quite right. Almost. Let's take round 2. It's a little bit false, but... All right, I have to put this to false to begin with. There we go. It's like that trick cereal. Oops. Oops, all locked. There we go. All right, so that's pretty distinct. And honestly, for squares, that's honestly pretty correct. That's not bad at all. Also, this is unsolvable now, but let's try instead putting it somewhere where I can actually still play with other things. The top would be block there. Okay, this one. True. You know, I mean, it's supposed to look like a lock, but I'm not the greatest artist, so sometimes they come out looking a little bit, I remember I made a couple of, like, different sprites that, like, I showed to some people, and they had very interesting ideas over what it looked like, and ended up not being even close to what it was supposed to be. Like, I think one of them was supposed to be a boot, and they're like, oh, is that a ghost? I'm like, okay, so that's first sign that maybe this could use a round 2. I guess it does kind of look like a mug, doesn't it? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I could just go find like a lock on Google Images or something. It's like a big ass PNG and just throw it on there. Yeah, so as it is right now, there's kind of nothing you can do. That's not half bad though, honestly. And this puzzle obviously breaks it, but that's all right. So that's our first step. I will leave this for now. Doesn't look great, but it is pretty clear over what's going on. It doesn't actually disturb visibility as much as I thought it would. So, yeah. We're gonna make a slight improvement though, because I am going to go ahead and remove that stupid variable. Now that we know it works, if everything does work. All we need to do instead is just do a clicker existence check. So, clicker check is probably the better setup here. If clicker check, boom. All the way around. If not clicker check. So this will check for clicker existence or whether it's been destroyed. If there's a problem, then we, wait, did I change this? I did. Okay. One more chance. That's good. It's good. Yeah, it's always good if things crash. All right, what's up? I see. I forgot to make this have a default. Even though I literally said that it can have a default. Todd? Nice. Okay. Works as intended. Good. Solid. All right, so that wasn't so bad. Now we've got a new feature. So now they can be locked. Now sometimes they can be locked. I'll have to do a tutorial about that at some point, but that is a step. So if pieces can be locked, that means we can force you to have to be creative sometimes. So that immediately throws in an interesting loop. Let's make these red instead. What if we start off immediately like with something down here that's just locked. Or actually, let's make these like yellow. Make this red, so that's like, oh, that's locked. You can't move that. Yeah, you could use that to simplify a puzzle, and you can use it to complicate it. My first thought is we try doing something like this, where they're locked up, and so you have to go like around. Yeah. The washing machine cycle, basically. You gotta spin to win, baby. Yeah, no, I mean, certain puzzles lend themselves to more... Again, it's like, they're almost like just tedious, right? Because it's like you kind of know what you're supposed to do, but you just end up having to do the same thing 10 times over. As opposed to actually seeing a solution. If you're forced to do this, well, I guess like anything, let's just start with something, right? Let's say this is your solution. All right. Yeah, maybe we got just 2 lines on the side. That's it. Very nice and simple. So now there's a question of how do we make this hard to solve? What would be stopping you? Why would you not be able to do this normally? Kind of like the idea maybe of some triplicates here too. So now we got to figure out why would you not be able to do this? Well, again, I could just use the same trick I've been using this entire time. It's getting a little old though. Probably shouldn't be doing it every time. Just swap these two. Immediately makes you go, ooh, I got to do this. For now, it's easy because you could just bop, bop, bop. Bop, 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 bop. What might make it difficult is the fact... So we probably should leverage the fact that you have to work with these, right? Maybe all of these are locked. Like all these corners are locked right away, and so you're like, dang. Yeah. So it's like they're all... Oh yeah, I mean, they couldn't be locked and this too. Maybe we'll do like a mix of the two. I got confused. Maybe make these locked. Obviously, then they wouldn't be swapped. But it's like it immediately gives you a kind of a concept of like, okay, so these are... Although I guess at the end of the day, this is not really any different than just saying like, oh, the origin points, they're just, I could just move these in one step. So maybe these shouldn't be locked if they're like that. Ooh, well then here's an idea. Maybe you make like a line or something. Let's change it. So it's like 2 separate puzzles. This is kind of new. And there's like a connection between the two. So now I almost want to take another look at this one because I feel like we could probably do something like that. I didn't even really think about that because I didn't have the possibility before. But yeah, if we had like a locked connector between the two, that might make it more interesting. You have to like connect the eyes somehow. Maybe I can make it look more like glasses or something. I'll have to come back. Whoa. All right, cool. Thanks. Take me to the void for a second. Good application. That's good. All right. So yeah, it would be like you have to somehow figure out puzzles. Yeah. I mean, I misspelled it, and I was just like, you know what? This is close enough. So, bullcock, bullcock. Yeah, this is fine. It's fine. Not a big deal. Yeah. They just start throwing these typos into Dark Egg too. Just like, yeah, you know, yeah. I mean, you're the one who has to read it, not me. Let's move that up there. You would have... Oops. I keep hitting this microphone now. Maybe we could go even weirder here. Make like 4 points. This is more similar to the other puzzle. Yeah, I bet. YouTube always wants you to disable your ad blocker. It's because they make money. But at the same time, like, I think they don't actually care that much because I'm pretty sure a very small amount of their money comes from ads. I don't actually know for sure, but like, I can't imagine. Or like, I think they make money off of ads. I don't know how it works now that I think about it. I don't think the YouTuber ever really makes much money off of ads. I don't know. Oopsies. Oh, it does like that thing where it's like, please support us, but then it gives you like time anyway. Or is that the skip ad? But I mean, I know on mobile, I don't have an ad blocker on that one, so I know I get like the skip ads. It gives like three ads, but you have 5 seconds each. It's like, okay, come on, guys, like, give me a break here. If we do like a big middle centerpiece here, it'd be pretty interesting to work with. This looks very similar to the other one, but now if we lock it, I mean, it's not bad. It's not allowed on YouTube. Okay, see, that's strange. I've never seen that, and I do have an ad blocker, so that's really odd. I've never seen that. It's not allowed. What are you, my dad? What do you mean it's not allowed? Yeah, I'm gonna keep it like this. This is a bit more unique anyway. Maybe at some point I'll do a 4 corners sort of situation. Ad blocker. Oh, U block. I think I've heard of both of those. I think I just use ad blocker, if I remember correctly. I'm actually gonna go ahead and take a second. Whoopsies. Whoopsies, 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 whoopsies. Okay. So yeah, we did actually add a locked box. If I were to... So this could go south real quick if I'm not careful, but I'm going to basically make like 4 puzzles. This is just a concept. I don't know if I'll actually make this one right here now, but because I was thinking this through. Like, if you had 4 corners, you could like theoretically have like 4 puzzles that all have to like interconnect to like a center goalpost, and if they're all locked, then you know there's no shortcuts now. You'd actually have to solve this. I can copy and paste the whole thing. I don't know what I'm doing. Just making it harder for myself for no reason. I'm gonna leave this down here as a proof of concept, because I feel like this could be really interesting to have to deal with. Beep, 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 boop, boop. All right. Okay. Wow, that almost spans the entire block that I give myself to work with. Holy cow. That's big. That's pretty big. If each of those sections are like their own little mini puzzle, then I could see that being... Whew, that's like a final boss puzzle right there. Alright, so let's work with this. We don't have a lot of space to work with, to be fair. There's not a whole lot to work with here. But, is it really super necessary to have it be difficult to do by swapping stuff around until you get it in? So like you're saying, like, you know, you get into a point where you're not sure what to do, so you just kind of start moving stuff around. I mean, ideally, I would prefer if you have to like really stop and think through all of your moves. Yeah. That's true. I mean, yeah, if you get stuck, you kind of have to just like reset it. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it would be nice to have something where it's like a very ideally, like it should be a couple of moves. Probably the most ideal puzzle would be if you can see the solution, you're like, ah, I got it. You do like 5 moves and you got it. And then if you don't know what you're doing, it kind of gets mussied up, I think. But like hopefully it would be easy to reset. I don't know if that's possible to do both, but that would probably be like the most ideal version. It's quick and easy, but also only if you actually see the solution. And so far, I feel like, you know, the hard puzzles have been more tedious than anything else. I don't know. I mean, the other one was still pretty difficult. Of course, I'm not sure how many people even saw the solution, though. That's the other struggle. Yeah. Kind of its own little thing. Well, if we only have one of each of these all connect, though. So I suppose the first thing would be maybe I'm trying to trick you by doing something like this. Right? And so as it turns out, the trick is like, actually just connect them like this. That's all you need to do and you're good to go. But like, maybe not. Oh, but don't forget as well, these would throw you off too. And the way it's set up now, actually, it should be like this, really. Is how it should be. Because, yeah, if we're going to have 2 sides, then we need it to actually be 2 sides. You can't move them over, so... Theoretically, this might be how it actually ends up being. That solves one goal, but there's multiple goals to solve. I can't remember if I can even have multiple goals, though. Now that I'm actually saying that, I don't even remember if that's real. So for the sake of safety, we're just going to delete this edge. And we'll expand this out one, or other way around. What the heck? There we go. True. This would be a pretty good tutorial section. Ow. Oh, nice. I stabbed myself by accident. That's good. Just, you know, it just happens. Just like a Friday evening like any others, right? Yeah, this would be a pretty good introduction to locked. Maybe that's what this ends up being anyway. But let's try. Let's see if we can come up with something. I mean, it might just turn into 2 puzzles. That's happened before. Yeah, that actually seems like a good idea. Just like simplify this a bit. We can cut down 2 of these. We don't need all of that. Then we'll move this over 1, so it's a bit easier to look at. Probably cut down 2 of these as well. Don't need all that. And now we put like 1 over here. Put like 1 over there. Put some bowls all right here. You gotta figure out, let's just make it a little random. That way they're not quite the same. And then you like boop, 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 boop. Yeah, nice, clean and easy. So you're like, ah, I get it. I have to, yeah, whatever. Gotta do a thing. And then over here, this is like hard mode version where you're like, no, this is actually gonna be really complicated. So let's try, I'm gonna try the locked corners idea again. Start from there again. Because this immediately begs a lot of questions of what you can do. Or maybe it'd be better to start them over here instead. A bit closer. it doesn't make any sense. These have to be like this. There we go. They can't just shoot out to nothingness. That wouldn't doesn't really work that way. Now you would then have to have some verticals here. That's simple enough. Got to bring those verticals up. Then I guess you would have maybe just like this, which is like kind of unnecessary at that point. You don't need both of these to come anymore, but I guess it's fine. You only need one pathway, you don't need two, but if we force you to make two pathways, it's not really that big of a deal. It's just, it makes it more fun to look at, I guess. We'll put these in the correct spot first, just to make sure we're not making an impossible puzzle. Because the first and most important thing, it has to at least be possible. The rest doesn't really matter. Even if every puzzle was easy, as long as they're possible, you can, you know, play the game, so. That is goal numero uno. There we go. Pathway is locked. Let's go. Maybe we then do another thing like this. Maybe we do another thing like this. There's a lot of pieces. It's a lot of pieces very quickly. Yeah, it's still out there. That would be the hardest puzzle of them all, really. The hardest puzzle by far is sucking up your own pride and giving me money. No, you're trying to say that like it's their fault. Why don't you just suck it up? Yeah. Oh my gosh, crypto's such a weird thing. I know some people who have made absurd amount of money on Bitcoin, and some people who have lost a ton of money, and it's crazy because it's like just going into a void and coming out of a void. Like there's nothing there. It's not like Bitcoin's like doing anything for anybody, you know? Like it totally makes sense when you pay stuff for goods and services, but then you get into Bitcoin, it's just like, I put in money and sometimes I just make 3 times as much, 100 times as much, 1,000. Oh, I lost all of it actually. Yeah, but even the stock market, it's like, there's like theoretically like good happening, you know? Like when Walmart makes money, it's because Walmart got bigger and made another location. And so you're like, oh, I made money because Walmart sold a bunch of stuff. But it's like Bitcoin is literally just like, it's just a coin that everyone agrees has a certain amount of value, but then like they disagree later and so it actually is worth more now. And it's like, I don't know, it's weird. It's just very weird, you know? It's very, very weird. If someone wants to invest in Bitcoin, I'm not gonna like, you know, oh, Bitcoin's just giving you money. Yeah, yeah. They might just like completely run. I mean, it's like, I don't know if it's necessarily a pump and dump, but it's very similar, right? It's just like out of nowhere, it suddenly can just become worth way more because some dude says so on Twitter. And it's like, that just feels weird, man. You gotta say it feels weird. I wonder how many cryptocurrencies are actually just like conspiracies, you know? Like people just were like, let's just make a thing, say it's worth a bunch, market the shit out of it, and then we'll just pull out at the end and it was never worth anything. Yeah. Yeah, Elon Musk controls every single... Which one was it? Was it like Dogecoin, I think? That was the one he like actually just tweeted. He's like, yeah, I'm whatever or something. It's just like, it skyrockets in value. Yeah, that is hilarious and kind of weird and creepy in its own weird way. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to invest in Bitcoin, but if someone wanted to, it's just like, you should treat it like Vegas, I think, right? Like, just treat it like it's definitely, this money's going into the shitter. Like, you're not seeing it again. But maybe you make it big. Yeah. People use their money for whatever they use it for. I mean, there's worse things, I'm sure, right? You know, just losing your money is one thing, but like if you used it for like fucking heroin, like that's not really better. So at the end of the day. Now, what do we do from here? Let's swap these two. That'll make it tough. Let's put maybe, let's get this somewhere here. There's not a lot of space to work with as I've set this up right now. There's not a whole lot of space. Yeah. The question is, we have to make this into something where it's like... Wah. Yeah, well, now I'm starting to wonder. So I'm going to try another direction with this. Because normally what I do is I like to just take the piece and then throw it in a different piece. And now you got to figure out how to move it from point A to point B. But I'm going to try making this, I'm going to try doing like very like intentional movements here. We're going to move this one here. Like try to rotate it back. So each area has a very specific solution. Move this piece up. Move this piece over here. Move this piece up. Move this piece up. This piece down. This piece down. And then I guess that's it. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. Yeah, that was an accident, but maybe that's true. Oh, like you have like a bridge. So you have the locked bridge, but then you have like a second bridge you could use somehow. Maybe. Could you break it? I don't think so though. The way these pieces are set up, I'm pretty sure it's just not possible. Like there's a lot of vertical going on here, right? So if we wanted to actually get from the goal to the origin, you'd have to use... You have to use the corners. Yeah, you have to. If you put this one here, I guess these are your corners. I'd have to make sure there's not like a weird cheesy solution that breaks it, but if you put this one here and then just use 1, 2, 3, 4, then put one here, then put, well, there, yeah, there's just barely not enough. There's just barely not enough. Okay, yeah, let's keep that idea here. Without changing any of the pieces. Then it shouldn't be possible for you to, you know, cheese this. You have to make sure you use this piece. It's the only way to have enough horizontal distance to get from goal to origin. But the question then is making it interesting. Yeah, if we put this like... Well, oh, okay, I see. So we can't just swap these two, but what we can do is something like this. Right? So now this guarantees that they have to be transferred over. There's no other option. Now, can we do this in a way that's not tedious is the more interesting question here. I think it shouldn't be too bad. What if I just made these both blocks first, so you have to actually... That means the only movements you could make would be... This isn't really a movement. If you just do a complete transfer... Whoa, wait, I think I might like this. Wait. 1, dun, 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 dun. If you just completely transferred it over, then this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... This one would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All of these would just swap. So the only thing you have to do is just twist it. Would that be too easy? Because I feel like knowing what I know now, though, I feel like most people wouldn't see that unless they stared at it. They would probably just start moving stuff around. Because if you just transfer these two, then all you have to do is plug it in. Let's try making the puzzle first, and let's see how easy it actually feels to do. Because that helps. Where do I put this? It's like you have to actually notice the solution, but if you do notice it, it's actually very easy. I kind of like puzzles like that, honestly. All right, so what are we looking at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Go with 9. So that's 9 rows, or 9 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. Start at row 0. How many columns are we talking here? Yeah, we'll go left from right, I guess. That's probably the most reasonable. Or should we do that? I don't know. It'd be probably easier to go from columns, but it's whatever. It's too late now. No, it's not too late. I can't make a decision. Oh my gosh, I'm dying. All right. That's what we'll do instead. Columns, because we have a lot more columns to work with here. So we'll start at 0, and then this one will tick down one by one. So we'll go from top to bottom basically instead of left to right. So we start with a locked, and then another locked, and then a goal, and then 2 more locks on the left side. 2, 3, 4. Now we make the next one. All right, now from there we can just go, and we just have to do this the fun way. Whoa. Here we go. We need to do, this would be right down, and this one's locked, so true. Line up, down. Empty. And a line up, down. Upright. True. Line left, right. Do not lock this one. Another empty. Line up, right, down. Left, right. No locks. Line left, down. Up, down. Yerd. Left up. Oh, this one's kind of interesting, right? So locked, locked again. Then we have block, block. Line left, right, locked. Right, down. That's locked. Up, down. Left, up, down. Up, down. Right, upright. Left, right, empty. This is a LUD block. It sounds like that could be something. Not sure what, but it would be something. Left, down. Left, up down, empty. And then finally, the last one is just a bunch of locks. Locked, 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 locked. And then origin has only a left connector. And we see how that goes. Actually, I should probably get this out so I can look at it, compare the two. Come out. That's a big one. That's a big one. Yeah, I'm gonna need some kind of, maybe this is the first place we use color or something. Obviously, I'm gonna need something that's a bit more, this kind of looks like shit. So this is your first thing. You're like, okay, well, what in the world? What is this? But if you're paying attention, you might be able to notice the actual solution is a lot simpler than it seems. Yeah, I gotta make these empty blocks not pan the camera. That's ridiculous. Dink, 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 dink. Oh. Egg solvent, 80%. Yeah, very quick, very easy. But if you don't notice that, I imagine that could be pretty, I don't know. Maybe I should just try these out, right? I wonder if there's like a way I could just send these out to people. I can't just give you the game anymore. It's at a point where now it's like, it would be far too problematic, but I wonder if there's a way I could like somehow just give the puzzle. Make like a dead version of Dark Egg where like you literally can't progress anywhere except to puzzles. So that way you can't break anything or look at anything, but you can at least solve some puzzles and see how they feel. Oh, what if I made that like a patron-only thing? Puzzle Egg. That's a good name for it. You could send a save that contains only the puzzle. Well, the save doesn't control what puzzles you would see or like what like content you would see. It would just be like the game itself, unless that's what you meant. The game itself would have to basically have like something that would just straight up block you from going forward. I guess you could reverse engineer to remove the block, but I'm not gonna worry about that. I don't think anyone's like code savvy enough to decompile the code. Or anyone who would be code savvy enough probably doesn't have enough time to do that. Yeah, I know. You joined the patron like when I wasn't like, because I think I had said that the Patreon was going on my words. I was going on hiatus while I did like the Kickstarter instead, and then you joined way later, and I was like, oh shoot, I am not prepared to offer anything that I promised. It's like, yeah, it might be fair. Give me 3 to 4 years. Yeah, well, you know, I'm hopefully gonna beat you to finishing the game first anyway. But that would be a fun race, I suppose. If I don't finish the game in time, you can just decompile it instead. Yeah, you know, I'm very glad about that. There's still a handful of people that are in the Patreon, and I am very surprised because I'm not offering anything special, but I'm glad that people want to support. Very thankful about it. You know, I still don't actually have plans to add anything yet, but I'm sure maybe once I release Dark Egg, I'll come up with other ideas, but it's like, it's just that I got the Kickstarter right now. So it's like, you know, they just kind of swapped money-making schemes. Makes it sound bad that way, but you know. Yeah, I mean, if you don't have money, it's fine. It's, you know, as long as you just play the game and support it, that works. Yeah, Human Blood works too, actually. I didn't, you know, I'm glad you noticed that. Actually, for legal reasons, that's a joke. Please don't get me Human Blood. I don't want to be sued. But, you know, I'll leave this puzzle as is. It's pretty simple. If we need to make it more complicated, we'll see. Yeah, you just get me a vein drip. Oh, I'm gonna do one more thing before I go. I'm gonna do one more thing because this was bothering the crap out of me. We're gonna make it so empty cells they still have like a clicker that you can't pan. I'm still gonna do stuff like that. Diddly dum. We're gonna go to clicker. The exclusive dancing egg. That is the best idea I've ever heard in my life. That's the only reward for Patreon is the exclusive dancing egg. So I have to commission somebody to make a dancing egg now. Where the heck did I even do this? Here it is. Here it is. Clicker set enabled. Okay, so this was the funny fun I did for a while. And I set this up, and so this turns off your clicker or turns it back on. Which, to be fair, this is probably the more healthy option. Yeah, I think this through now. How do I make this so that you can... Because I don't want you to be able to do anything. About the AF. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think I did see that message on my Gmail. I have to go actually read it. Sorry. But yeah, I think I read like the preview. Oh, wait, I probably shouldn't go through all my stuff while I'm still sharing it all. Gotta remind my brain that I'm streaming right now and not just like... I'll go check out my taxes, see what's up on my bank account, read my social security, just like... Oh, by the way. All right, what we have to do here is, yeah, it would be nice. Go check out my credit card number. I mean, honestly, I do actually just like showing people my credit card number because you say, yeah. I mean, honestly, like it's fun though because I like the, I guess, thrill of not knowing what's going to be in there tomorrow, so I can put money in and I get to like have that gamble of maybe it's gone. It's unfortunately pretty bad because now I'm in serious debt, but hey, it's a good time. Good time to good way to spend your time actually. Where's the function to disable camera panning? If I get this bad boy, I guess what I could do, this is a little hacky. Just start here. Just do, what will this be? Gestures, shouldn't we have gestures? Yes, tap. If you tap this, disable camera panning. Just give this a shot, see what happens. If this doesn't work out, it's fine. Okay, doesn't work out. It's fine. It's fine. First of all, what does it take to even get a tap in the first place? I'm not sure. But okay, let's try left press then. I was hoping tap might just be like any interaction from a mouse, but looks like that's not going to be it. Whoa. Why did it just freeze? Okay, there it is. Perfect. Okay, so left press works. So yeah, now hopefully it would be a lot easier to move these through. Definitely feels like it. Yeah, it's like a little tedious, but overall a very easy solution. And then boom, you're done. And if you don't notice that, then honestly, I feel like it'd be pretty easy to notice though. Who knows? So the way we make this work in the current system we have though, we've got the clickers set up. Left press obviously is not a great idea because it means only the left click works, and then I'm going back into other systems for collision, and I want to avoid doing that because I already did all the work necessary to get out of that. We delete the clicker for these locked ones, but that's okay. That's not a big deal. If the clicker is disabled directly, we can't actually change much about that because that means that they won't even show up in the first place. They will fail in the clicker enabled stage, which just means they get here and then they're done. So that's not going to work. So effectively, once these things are turned off, they're just turned off. They're not going to do anything anymore, which is maybe problematic because I might still want them to have some kind of collision code. Just so that if they show up and do stuff, we can disable camera panning. Really, that might just be it. just give them some shit, but I don't know. I have to think about that. I have to think about how important this is. This is good enough for now, I guess, but I'll just put it to do. Insert into clicker, even when off. Some way to make that work, maybe. I'm gonna make one change after all. Going down, it'll be column 3. I'm gonna put these over here instead. Just so that you have to notice that first. What's happening? A small change. But yeah, I mean, the options you have are just so limited. It's like, I don't see how you could possibly miss it. That might just be me already having the solution, though, that just, you know. But yeah, after that, I think, yeah, the rest of it's fine. If it turns out to be easy, then it's easy. If it turns out to be hard, then it's hard. And we'll just see what's up. But yeah, puzzle egg. I think that'll be something I'll have to work on. Make a small little version of this game that's just called Puzzle Egg. And if we're lucky, then I can just throw out a bunch of puzzles and people can test them, and then I'll just see generally how difficult they seem to be. I guess I'll have to just be an opinionated thing. I'll just ask them, like, because again, we have no way of pulling data anymore. So the puzzle pit, baby. That would be a hilarious name for an area, actually. Just the puzzle pit. And it's just like, there's no explanation. It's just like 50 puzzles. And you're like, what? You have to just like dig your way down. It's like, what game is this? Is this supposed to be like an actual... What is this? We could have the puzzle pit, like the combat pit, and then like the talk your way out of it pit. And it's just like 3 weird ass little trials. Yeah, and you have to give me a full essay bug report over everything that's happened in the game. It just, you know, releases a Google form and you cannot, I give you a code that like, only when you actually submit me the essay do I give you a code that will let you keep going forward. Or you can pay $2.99. MLA format, MLA citations, yeah. It has to be graded by an actual college professor and get at least an 88. Single spaced, can't cheat, 3 pages long. I will accept pictures. After all that, actually, I will accept pictures, though. All right, first I gotta make sure I know where everything is. Gotta finish up and wrap up. So we added the slider lock. Puzzles can now lock. Gotta track everything I've done here. We still throw that in there too. Or I should say added. Sandbox, I guess. Oh yeah, that's right. Draw is fine. Mouse 4 is not as fine, but still. I had to add that back in so that something else doesn't break. Oopsies. Oh, that's right. Yes, and so we need to remove And we go back to button. Over here, we want to remove this because that would only occur, this would only happen in the step event and we're not drawing anything there. So we need this to happen here instead. So as it turns out, we do need this to be a separate event, but it's not too bad. Draw lights when hovering. Just an extra little thing to make sure that the events carry out at the correct places. Oh yeah, now this will go here. We can probably just commit the whole thing, it's fine. Let me just double check this. I don't want to show the script file. I don't think there's too much to see here, but on the off chance. Okay, and then I think that's it. Nice. All right, well. No, that's good. Yeah, that's a good idea. I bet you can. I would I'd actually give you $100 if you can't do it, because I'm so certain that you would. And after you reverse engineer, you make that dancing egg. I want you to send that dancing egg to me. I will subscribe to my own Patreon, so I will be available and willing and able to get it. And we're gonna have a role reversal here. I guess it'll actually be you who owns the game. It's gonna be very surprising. Anyway, I guess I'm gonna take off. It's that was good. It's actually the longest stream I've ever done, so nice. Yeah, it was good. That was fun. That was very helpful. I guess have a good one, guys. I'll catch you at some point. Later.